Today. I'm not even sure, to tell you the truth. I work so many hours, I'm not even sure. But if it is, thankfully, happy Thanksgiving. I'll figure that out later on when family contacts me and say, hey, where the freak are you at? First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC and Crystal Age Technology Screens. We've been doing some cardboard PC builds, and the reason why is because I'm starting a new company. I'm starting a new company involving our high-tech professional screen paint products. It can be used for all kinds of gaming applications. This is strictly for gaming. We do home theater, all that stuff, projector mapping, floors and ceilings, all that stuff. Check out our YouTube channel. But I do want to do one dedicated for gaming, and I had some pretty interesting investors that are going to be involved in this new technology, and some real serious beta testers, big time gamer beta testers that are going to be coming in and testing out some of our screens to get an idea of what we're designing. All right, so we're doing the bottom half of our case here. I love this one. It has my splatter artwork on it. I gotta put my signature on this baby too. And had to do some adjustments for the icebox. Still wasn't happy with the way the motherboard was sitting on there, and I had to go in and do some adjustments, and then redirect the power button and all that stuff. So get that done and get that out of the way. So right now I'm just doing under the case, which I wanted to get to, but we got to do that one last. So again, these are really affordable, not expensive cases, and I've seen different forms of cardboard PC builds. I'm not the only one that does this. I've seen other people who do cardboard PC builds, and again, it's much, like I said, much more affordable than going out spending the money for a case, because you know some cases want to give you more, some want to give you less. And with this, you can build it the way you want to. Kind of like Minecraft in your PC case. Let me see if you can see that right there. There we go. Tilt that a little bit. I guess I can hold it in my hand and do this. So family, I'm pretty up early. I'm always up early. And my family won't be hooking up until later on around 12 o'clock. So I got plenty of time to get some work done. As I told you before, I love my job. I love what I do for a living. And for some people, having Thanksgiving off is, you know, they don't want to go back to the workplace. Me, on the other hand, I love to work. I love my job. I'm blessed to be able to do something that I enjoy to do. So I don't mind working today. Let's get some more paint over here. Get over here. Get underneath there. Can't get the camera there right now. I'm gonna get this tabbed up. And then we had to do some readjustments here. Definitely had to do readjustments. So we had to bring it down a little bit more because it was leaning a little bit. I told you I was looking at it like it doesn't look right. It was leaning. So now I know the next time I construct one of these, make sure that we construct everything into the first base. So that way we don't have pieces we're attaching to the base that could lean or just basically just throw it off a little bit. That's what we do next time. Just build the entire base, have it so we can lock it in. So this is one piece right here. This holds the motherboard right here with the motherboard screws. And then this is another base right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to build the whole thing to the base itself with the motherboard support mount. And then that way it makes it much easier. Everything's one big piece, and that Velcro's too. I decided to go with the Velcro system. It locks on quite nicely. The magnet system, the only thing with that is, yeah, too close to my motherboard. And I read up some stuff on it. You have to have a certain type of magnet. And again, I don't want to chance it because anything goes wrong on that board, we're going to have all types of problems. And I don't want to push that. So we're going to go with the Velcro system. So I went to a I went to a PC site for showing off PC builds. And put my cardboard display up there and got some really good feedback on it. People liked it. They want to see more of them. We just put this one up here and showed how it glowed in the dark. And again, that's what sparks those ideas for people to go in and do the same thing themselves. Because that's what we want people to do. We're not selling these. I got people that want to do custom builds. But if I do a custom build for somebody, it's just going to be something I'll do on the side. But I'm not going to be selling these because, again, we got a lot on our plate. And it's just basically just to show off easy and different ways on how you can design your own customized cases. And this isn't just for PC, too. You can do this with console. I've seen tons of console mods. Insane console mods. And you can do the same thing. And it's cheap. You know, boxes are going to be free. And for the person who tried to call himself intimidating me by saying that, oh, you can go to jail. No, you cannot. I know people work for the post office. I know a postmaster general. And I go in the post office all the time and I show them the things that I'm building and putting together. As a matter of fact, I got an offer to build a United States Postal Service custom PC. So, as long as you're not using the boxes for something where you're transporting drugs, something against the law, using it to intimidate people, that is, are committing fraud, as in ripping people off by sending them things that they did not order, that would be considered a violation against the product. For individuals that are not intelligent enough to crack books at the end of the day, let me explain something to you. I'm a businessman. I ship stuff every day. Every single day. I ship things all over the world. And I have an account with the United States Postal Service. There's a little thing that pops up every time you order boxes that tells you the guidelines. Now, if you don't understand those guidelines, you can go online and break it down to figure out what those guidelines mean. Or if you have a bunch of lawyer friends, which I do because I'm in this building, then you could ask one of them and they go tell you exactly what those guidelines mean if you don't understand the lingo of law. So, with that being said, no, you can't get arrested for that at all, period. I seen a bushcraft guy come in and build a makeshift little cabin out of boxes. These boxes right here. As long as you're not doing anything within breaking the law, as in what these individuals did by contacting people and harassing them, you do the United States Postal Service, and you have to use the boxes either to get that charge. You're not breaking any laws. So, again, crack books, please. And this is the individual who was contacting us, which now he's cut off. He has been trying to contact well, you block them one way, they try to find another way, which is kind of sad, but he's been trying to contact our business. But mind you, that's a company line. So that's a business who does that, and they have a screening process which we paid for. They're reading all your messages. Not only that, once enough of them come in, it goes to security. They take care of it from there. And then they start doing traces to figure out where it came from. And this involves the FBI and all that stuff. So he's got charges coming up. And guess what? They got his location. They were able to ping his location. They know exactly where he's at. Yeah, I told you stop messing around with that call service over there. Explain to you stop messing. That's the reason why we applied for that service. Because what they did for their security protocols, because we had problems with individuals contacted us and acting up. Yeah, they pinged him. They know exactly where he's at. So I told you. You know, it's a choice of basically being able to walk out your door and go to a bar and go out and eat with friends. Or it's a choice of basically having someone come to your front door in a bunch of black trucks to the FBI. It's not worth it. Doing dumb stuff. Now you're going to go to jail for cyber harassment, cyber bullying. And mind you, you attacked the company. Not me. That's my business at the end of the day. So the charges are different because you attack the company. It's like, and when you do that, then the charges they're different. There's a whole different set of charges goes to federal. So now you're looking at basically getting 10 years in jail for cyberbullying a company. Again, stupid. 10 years you can't afford to give up. Not at the age he's at. Ugh, yeah, dumb stuff. So that's why I warn people at the end of the day, don't do dumb stuff at the end of the day. Get people snap out, get mad over some French fries. Like literally, you're going to destroy a company's environment, threaten the employees over French fries. You're looking at people understand the consequences behind that. When you watch that, it's all recorded. Everyone's recording it. They got cameras in there recording it. So you got all that substantial evidence in your face. So you're looking at easy, a good maybe, if you're lucky, 5 years. It's not the employee that's going to file. It's the company that's going to file against you. That's where that's where you get dramatically jacked up. It's not the employee. The employee's going to file their separate charges, of course, and they can sue you too on top of that. But it's the company that's going to come down. They're going to bring their representative down. And oh my goodness, you're so screwed. It's not even funny. And then they got you on a recording. You're all over social media, showing you throwing things all over the store and screaming and yelling and threatening people. Yeah. So all that for some French fries. You're going to go to jail. And now you don't have French fries anymore. Heck, you don't have any kind of good food anymore. You're just there at the end of the day. Gee whiz. And keep in mind, as I explain to people, that, if you get hit with any kind of fine, they fine you in the process. That means that when they fine you, that means anything that pops up on your books, they can take it. So that means, say your family sends you $300. You don't get that $300. They take that from you because you owe money in fines. That's why. If you get a job working in the prison system, they take that too. So yeah, it's not worth it, man. If you're upset with the food, then go someplace else. That's all. It's so much easier to go, you know what? I don't even want it. I'll just go someplace else. That's it. It's an issue with you getting your money back. That shouldn't be a hard problem. Then you can call the police and it'll be in your favor because you do have a right. If you don't want the food, you can get your money back. You do have that right. But going there and snapping, that one guy who came home from work and got mad. I don't know what it was about, something stupid. He attacked one of the employees, and one of the other employees came up behind the counter to defend the other employee. And that man guy got the best of him. The other employee jumped over and got the best of him. He got mad and decided to get in a truck with the company's logo splattered down the side of it and drive through a McDonald's. Now you got attempted murder in your hands. So it's interesting how some people get up in the morning, start an everyday process, and end up in jail. That fast, that quick, on some crazy serious charges. And I guess once that temper calms down and you really get a chance to get a grasp on how bad the situation is, like what you did and all, because the officers will remind you of that. Like, yeah, you know what you did, right? Yeah, you drove a truck right through a freaking McDonald's. Because first thing people ask is, when am I getting out of here? And they look at you and go, yeah, do you know what you did, right? That's when you know you're in a lot of trouble. When they sit there and go, you know what you did, right? Because usually they'll say, well, it's not it's not a little bit of a misdemeanor. You'll pay a fine. That's basically about it. You'll see the judge. Most likely you're going to get probation. That's pretty much what they'll say if it's something light. But if it's something heavy, they'll be like, you do know what you did, right? Oh, no. You're going to be here for a while. You might not even get bail. They'll tell you that right from the door. You might even get bail. You'd be lucky to get bail. Yeah, because they've seen it before. They've seen the same process so many times. And people say, oh, police officers can't give you advice. Yes, they can give you advice because if you're a rookie at the end of the day, you're just learning the ropes, But if you're a veteran, you've been there for a while, you already know what the outcome's going to be. But yeah, I watch that when people snap and just tear up an entire environment like, wow, you're just going to go to jail for some French fries, really? Mind you, even if you pick up anything, and I mean anything from the restaurant and throw it, it could be paper cups, it could be napkins, it could be anything. They can get you for vandalism. That's why I explain to people, you're angry and upset, go out in the parking lot and scream your head off. Don't do something on that property. Because, yeah, it can come in and say, look, even though we threw napkins, he came at our employees hostile. We felt that they were in a threatening situation. and we feel it'd be the best to our interest in the state of whatever you're going to be in, that he be incarcerated for a few years. And yeah, you're definitely going to get that time for throwing some naggins around. Yep. Depending on the judge, too. That also depends on the judge. So, people usually ask, what's the judge going to be? Say, well, he's going to be he's a no-nonsense judge. Yeah, you're done. So, yeah, don't even bother with it. I don't get upset. Man, I get in line and I'll be mad sometimes when my food don't come out fast enough. You know what I do? I count to 10. And then what I do is, if it serves is really, really bad, I just go someplace else. There's plenty of places to eat at. I don't need to eat there. Yeah, if your food is that good, causing people to go to jail, I would use that as a slogan. Food's so good, people literally go to jail for it. I would use that as a slogan. Literally. So right here, we had to do a little updating on the case right here, because the Velcro system worked perfectly fine on this PC right here, but it was still tilting. It wasn't coming down. It needed to be straight. It was tilting just a little bit, and that right there was driving me nuts. So I had to go back in and reset it up. Now mind, we had to do ice job. All this is going to be covered in ice, so it doesn't really make a difference if it's a little patchy here and there. It's all going to be ice job. This whole thing is going to be a complete ice job. This is going to be silver paneling, all that. This is just the beginning stage. We start putting it together, and then we start adding in the paint job like we have over there. Now I need for this to have non-glow. We need non-glow here. This needs to glow. That needs to glow. All the cables and wires need to glow. But that needs to really glow. It needs to really highlight, because that's the refrigerator. And then we have our nice little duct fan system right here. We're going to put some of that icy glow frost around it. So we're just basically doing our little touch-ups here and there to get it ready for that next stage. And now this is fitting much better, much straighter, which I do like right there. Because before, like I said, when we had it a little higher up. So next time I learned that when I build this, to make sure that the main base part that connects to the radiator system, all this is just one part, one piece. We connect all this together. Because, yeah, that was not fun at all to do. The adjustments went quite well. And power button is right there, ready to be attached on. So I had to wire the power button through here and come out through here. Yeah. I like about this paint is cheap, and it basically dries extremely quick. Let me show you. Now, if you see me walking around with my socks on, the reason why is because my boots are light tan. And yesterday, I just about missed them with a huge glop of paint. So I ain't trying to jack them up. This has to be repainted. Again, I told you, that's why we got to black them out. Because if we don't black them out, this is what happens. So we got to redo this all over again. This part right here, we're going to be working on today also, too. This is the PC we're building for our fishbowl PC setup we're going to be doing. So I got to come in here, make sure all the tabs are down, which means we got to put the tape down, tab them all down. And then when we're done with that process, then we're going to basically glue everything together. Glue gun is not working anymore. And the reason why, how we broke our glue gun, was the fact that I didn't realize that you have to have certain sizes to fit glue guns. If you don't, basically it just spills all out all over the place and just basically jams up the gun. Yeah, live and learn. Life lessons. Just gotta order another one. So this is the power supply. Did an interesting job with this one right here. All the cables, all this stuff glows in the dark. So the power supply on this one actually fits right up top right there. Well, yeah, we got a nice little setup. Now, this is the white stuff that comes with it, right? We're going to get a large container, and we're going to put in a lot of activator in it. As a matter of fact, one of these got a lot of activator as we speak. And we're just going to do traces in here, so when the blue lights fire up, they actually charge up with a nice reflection charge. Oh, man. Where is... Oh, I forgot. PC is... We got to put PC back together. All right, let's put this machine back together over here so we can get this fired up and ready to go, because I need to get access to stuff. Let me see. Well, first things first, you might want to get this power supply over here. Whoops, sorry, I'm in the wrong section for power supply. I gotta leave you guys right here for just a minute, because I gotta plug in the power supply. All right. Maybe turn off. Here we go. All right. Let me see. Is this dry? That's dry up there. Where's the hard drive at? Now this is not going to be here. We're still working on this. So still got some work I have to do in there. And this is still a little wet, so I'm not worried about that. Let's get this part to click in here nicely. Now, like I said, I've bought dozens and dozens and dozens of cases. And I like the cardboard builds better. Again, like I said, cheaper. My case that I was going to buy for the Nuclear Jungle, it's going to be about, it wasn't much, but it still was going to be $119. The problem I had with the case was it wasn't big enough. The platform wasn't big enough to build the jungle. There wasn't enough room in there. So with this, we have a ton of room on the platform to build whatever we want. Cases are fantastic. When you do mod work, the more room, the better, because you can add more stuff to it. Alright, so where are we at with everything here? Oh, gotta hook up the... I'm gonna put this over here. It's gonna attach my stuff real quick. There we go. I am bumping the crap out of something. I can feel myself bumping something here. Alright, let me see. Where is microphone system? Microphone. Alright, let me see. Got a card. And it's connected here. Oh, we left all that connected in. Alright, good. So I have to go mess with that. That's all done. Everything's here. Mouse and keyboard, all that stuff's running. Alright. And that's running, that's running. Anything else back here? We need to hook up. Let me see. Nope, that's the power for that. I'm going to do that right there at all, period. Alright, cool. Did I get the other side of this thing? Or did I get the side of that? Okay, cool. Alright, so we got everything all hooked up on that side. Everything's all together. And we'll be doing wire management soon. Right now, we just have to get everything sorted out and how we want to do this. But yeah, right now, wire management will be later on where we took everything at. We got a nice port there because the power supply fits here, and then all the wires and cables come from here and they just connect to here. So we're going to ice all that so it glows in the dark. So let me get this thing on. Of course, that light has to change because it does flash. So we're not going to be using this light at all, period. It's just something for the time being to give me an idea what I'm working for. I have to basically give myself an idea how it's all going to come together. So we definitely have lights in there, but nothing like that. Here we are, up and running. Got the password in. Come on, get up there. There we go. And it's all ready to go. So this one came out better. I like the way everything fits quite nicely side by side. Everything was up a little too high, and again, it was causing pressure for it to push down. The next time, if I do want to bring something higher up, make sure that this is hot glued to that. So that we wouldn't have the issue. And there we go. PC's running perfectly fine. We've got it done. I'm talking about. This is what I was doing before I got into screen paints. Well, I wasn't doing this part right here. I used to buy all my cases. The only thing I did with modification of cases is pull them apart, paint them, change the colors and stuff like that. That's basically about it. And then later on, I started basically building my own cases, and that was done with Tupperware for vegetable oil cooled PCs, because I got into that kick right there. And this time around, we're doing cardboard, which is actually pretty cool because, again, like I said, well, you don't have to spend a lot of money. And these things are super cheap, put together. That's the other one we're working on right now pretty soon. So, yeah. Now, once I've done this right here, this will go back over there once all the bottom half is dry on this. And then I'm going to take this one and power it down again. Make sure everything's running, everything's connected nicely, everything's working. Power it down again, bring it over here, and we start the paint job for the inside and putting in some of that frost. So that is that stage right there. Now I'm happy because next month I'm going to get a chance to get on site. But again, I got to get on site. I got to do something. I got to do something. You know, even though I'm here, it's not enough. I want to be actually on site. You know what I mean? Bring equipment, set up. You know what I mean? Do that. So I got to do something, because if I don't, I feel like I'm getting lazy. You know what I'm saying? What you work? No, it doesn't have anything to do with that. I'm really strict on myself. I have to show some kind of progress. If I don't, I feel like I failed. So just having a few demonstrations on site, showing the product someplace else, even though this area is very well lit, it's not enough for me. I have to change things up. Don't want to seal this right here. I want this to be open. And they like the splatter art. I'm happy about that. They like the splatter art. Like I said, it's not for everybody. You know? You have to understand, when you're doing artwork at the end of the day, it's never going to be for everybody. That's how it works. And not everybody is going to share your opinion on how your artwork is displayed, or how you visualize it. Some people are going to like it. Some people are not going to like it. That's with everything in life. If you're at that point where you feel that everybody has to like it, then you've got a lot of problems coming. Reality is not going to be nice to you. So you have to accept it. It's a little wet there. I'm going to turn this around. I don't want to hit anything and damage my work here. Now this is going to be all RGB, as I said before. This is all light show display. This is what we did with this one right here. We got stuff all in the way, like literally this here. These are all empty. I don't know why we even have these here. These are empty. These are done. Next time we need bigger containers, a lot more. Because we went through that pretty quick. But I did get a nice color blend. I was able to use all of it. Interesting, I didn't use any of the light blue, which is interesting because I wasn't planning to use light blue on here. I was planning to use it on here, but, you know. Are we done with this before I shake this in here? Okay, we're good. Down there in dirty water. It works. You would see people have the most dirtiest water ever for their brushes. None of the brush water is ever clean. It works. It just works. You just shake it out and dry it off with a freaking rag and then go right and paint with it. Yep. It's like the equivalent to, and it also shows at the end of the day they're getting the work in. It looks like this in there. It shows they're getting their work in. If it's clean and all that, I'm like, what, are you doing any work in here? Yeah, it's like the equivalent of the barbecue grill. Everybody knows you don't change the ashes in the barbecue grill. You know what I mean? You never change the ashes. And I don't. I have never. I've had my ashes in there for like a year. That's the flavor. The flavor. Those ashes are the flavor. Until one day, you know, somebody doesn't know will come out and dump them out. And like, you were like, really? You know how long it took me to get that? There you go. Certain things you just leave it the way it is. The mattresses, everything. My ex did that one time. We had freaking ashes in there for like 7 months. 7 months. And she was going to cook some fish out there. And I seen this big pile of ashes in the trash. I was like, what's this? And she's like, oh, that's the dirty ash. Like, oh, why would you do that? You know how long it took me to get those ashes like that, man? There you go. Gotta explain that theory. Then you gotta sit back and people, I'm not saying just women, I'm talking about anybody. I think guys do it too. I don't know why they don't know it. But anyway, and you gotta sit there and you gotta explain to them why. Why you don't throw them out. Why. Literally, they should tell me. Nope, let me be quiet on that. That's a good idea. Yep, that's a fantastic idea. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm getting that one copyrighted and patent. Alright, so let's move on. So anyway, like I said, yeah, that's crazy, yeah. I've had this discussion on so many levels, it's not even funny. I literally just sat there and said, is there any place else I gotta use that brush on? And find a place that I have to use it on. Okay, just said that, and then found the area we need to use it on. So we're going to be building some other crazy one. I told you, I'm getting a workshop. I'm definitely investing in getting myself a workshop where I can build from my gaming technology. I got a buddy of mine who does simulators. He's a welder. He's going to teach me. We're going to build a simulator. I'm going to be using that Apex Gamer because I am dying to build me a mech controller. I want a huge mech simulator. Yes. I'm talking about something that you have to climb into. We want to build luxury simulators. Because what I see right now is the simulators are nice, but they want a lot of money for something at the end of the day that really isn't all that hyped up. I mean, it's just a rack system you just throw your stuff into. So I want something a little different. Something that comes with lights and all that stuff like that. I want to do something a little bit different. So how about giving you a little bit more? Pretty much what it is by giving you more. You know what's interesting? See how well lit this room is? It's interesting the fact that I can turn on a projector and watch a movie right now. That screen is black, ain't it? That is insane black technology, isn't it? Love this thing. That's my hat was sitting right next to it. That's a red flag right there. If you're watching somebody says if a black screen, look at the environment. Look around the environment. If you don't see anything in there that's black, that's the first red flag telling you that there's nothing in the environment that's black, because that's what they do. They'll look at the environment and look at something and look at the screen. That's how they tell. So if you notice that they're doing tight shots, real close up on top of the screen, or there's nothing in the environment that could basically tell the screen, secret of the screen, there you go. And the reason why is because some people make a gray, super dark gray to pass it off as a black. This is why, to save you some embarrassment and some humiliation, that if you get a contract, they're going to ask you to do a pour out. And that's where they'll take black paint and they'll pour it in the middle, and then they'll take your paint and pour it. It better blend. It better come extremely close to blending, or it better blend, or you got a problem on your hands. If it comes up gray, you're out. Yeah, they'll do that to you. They'll do stuff to you and believe. Some people think they feel that they'll contact you, you'll come down and meet with them, then they'll sign some paperwork. No, it's never like that. They basically are going to ask for samples, a lot of it. Are either going to pay for some of those samples. You know, if you got stuff that's made to order, you're going to pay for the samples, and they're going to do their own testing on it. And they're going to test your stuff, man. They're going to put it against other paints and stuff to see how well the stuff matches. Because again, no one wants to get into like a 3-year contract with somebody and find out their stuff is faulty. So that means that their stuff is faulty. That means as you're distributing this stuff out all over the place, that means customers start complaining. There's massive complaints coming back. You're going to get in trouble, and your credibility of your name is going to be tarnished. And then you're going to be mad at that person because you're saying, well, why didn't you tell me everything about this? Why didn't you tell me did this and did that? There you go. So you have to know your product. They're going to ask you a ton of questions. So if you're making stuff up, it ain't going to go. That's why I said that the minute I see somebody faking their specification sheets, you're not in competition for anybody. You have no competition for anybody. Because from the door, your product is automatically a fail. It can't go anywhere. You crippled it right from the door, from lying on the specifications. You can't get a distributorship contract. You may fool a couple of customers, but they're going to figure it out sooner or later, and they're going to file complaints against you. There's no way around it. Either works or doesn't. That's like somebody advertising a flying car. Oh, it flies. It does. No videos, no demonstrations, nothing. Just stating that the car has the ability to basically take off and fly away. Yeah, there's not a lot of people are going to believe in that. You know what I mean? If you talk about your mumbo jumbo, maybe you might be able to back that theory up a little bit. You know what I mean? By just words. But majority, most of the people are going to want to see this car take off and fly. Now, say a company comes in and says, okay, look, we're going to sign a $20 million contract for your flying car. And we're going to take your flying car and we're not going to get a sample. Let's just start the bid off at maybe about 2 dozen. And they get 2 dozens from you and they got them in a showroom. They don't even bother testing it out. And they convince the population, the consumers, that this is a flying car and it's going to fly. And the consumer buys that car and finds out it doesn't fly at all. It doesn't do anything close to basically flying. It has no form of airport navigation systems and it has nothing. So now they file a complaint for basically against the company because they go and they talk to the company about it, and the company doesn't know much about it because the person they bought it from doesn't know anything about it. So they're just as oblivious as the person who sold it to them. And now they're looking at it like this is just a major scam going on here. And now you got consumer. They report you to consumer. I forgot what's called the name of it anyway. But anyway, they put you to consumer, whatever it is. I forgot the name of it. And they basically give you a complaint, consumer fraud. And they file a complaint, and then that complaint goes through. And if you get enough of those complaints that go through, then they start looking into your company. As a matter of fact, even one can trigger those off. But they look into your company, and they start reading through your stuff and like, hey, they'll bring somebody in that basically specializes in that field of flight navigation and navigation systems or whatever. And they'll go, hey, does this car have this possibility? Like, no, it doesn't. You can't even do it. It's virtually impossible. It can't fly. So, long story short, they're going to get sued. They're going to probably end up going to jail because, again, of the large scale and how much these cars cost. And then the person who basically sold them the cars, that company's going to turn around and file a lawsuit against them because they messed. There you go. There you go. That's what I told you. That literally is what's going to happen. That's why the minute you contact a distributor, the first thing they're going to ask you is your stuff tested? Can you back it up? Does it do exactly as you claim it does? All right, this is what we're going to need you to do. Gather up all your specifications, information, send everything to us, and we're going to need a couple of samples of this. That's what they're going to do. And then they're going to fly you in, because I've done this before, and you're going to have to do this right in front of them. You're going to have to explain every bit of what you wrote about that product. Everything. There you go. If not, you got an airline ticket going home. So, again, thinking that you can fool people on YouTube, no, someone's going to catch you. And if they catch you, if anyone catches you, any one of them can file for consumer fraud against you. You're just going to have to be able to back it up when that court date comes up. So that's why I said it doesn't pay to lie from the door. It really doesn't. The minute, with these guys at the end of the day, they lie, especially the other one about the range gain. They lied about their products. Now, when the first one started out, his products did do exactly what they were supposed to do. It was black. It was gray and black paint. Everybody was making great paint at the time. Well, not at the time. Yeah, around the time. Yeah, they were making great paints at the time. Yeah, where you were. But yeah, same thing. But saying that it has certain qualities that other great paints didn't have, like the ability to pull up a tremendously high contrast level. And again, demonstrations trying to prove that it pulls up in well-lit environments, especially when you're competing against technology that does pull up in fully-lit environments. That's like me developing a gray and black paint and putting it against a screen like Black Diamond that has the ability to pull up in a fully-lit environment at 50 lumens, which we did in the garage. And I'm saying I'm the same thing as their company. Save money. Don't buy from them. Buy from me. We do the exact same thing. There you go. You done got yourself in trouble the minute you said that. Because now they're going to expect for you to operate just like a diamond screen. And if you can't do that, bam, you just got hit with consumer fraud that quick. That's why you can't be making stuff up. And that company can take you to court too on top of that. They could turn around and sue you. So that's why you have to back your stuff up. So for us, we have your sample sheet here. These are the test demonstrations we did. This is my projector, so and so and so. I can repeat the same thing here on live. I can repeat the same thing in the courtroom, showing exactly that our screen pulls a higher contrast level than the diamond and is able to pull a much better contrast level than their gunmetal certified screens. Got to back that up. That's the reason why when they contacted us, they said potential. They didn't say lawsuit. Lawsuit came later on, basically, when we didn't want to play ball with them. That's where that came up at. So yeah, got to be to back all that up. I talked to a couple of distributors and they answer a whole lot of stuff at the end of the day. You know what I mean? They have companies that will contact them and never hear from them ever again because they can't back it up. So you just don't want to go through the flying car scenario. Make sure if you're going to be getting to the field of screen paints, make sure you back up everything you say. Make sure you have video demonstrations backing up everything you say. Because keep in mind, if you get a bad customer and they want to take you to court, at least you can defend yourself in that courtroom. If you don't have anything backing you up, you're in a lot of trouble. And this is what I've warned people. People thought I was just saying that because our stuff is back and just to basically grind their gears a little bit. But no, dead serious. You need to have your stuff backed up. I've been in the business for over 10 years. I've had all types of customers. I've done with all types of businesses. And I have a lot of experience in the field. And if I'm telling you at the end of the day that you have to have this, take it as a joke. See what happens. See what happens. You get one customer. One customer can drag you into a courtroom and make your life a living nightmare if you can't back that stuff up. Because the first thing the judge is going to ask you, do you have any proof that this actually does work? Yeah. Why do you think I sat outside when we did the demonstration with that that technology that absorbs sunlight, the ad tech? I shot videos every day while I was out there. I sat out there from 8 o'clock, which is easy to fire up, because again, sun really is not that bright at 8 o'clock for us. So at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way till 6 o'clock, I shot a video every hour when I was out there. That's why the notifications were going off, because we were testing. So that way, if I'm talking to somebody and they say, hey, look, what about 12 o'clock in the afternoon? Do you know if this is going to activate? We can honestly say, yeah, we know. Because we got the video right here, timestamp on the phone at 12 o'clock. We were outside testing this technology on a storefront commercial window. If you do demonstrations, which I've seen, and some people showing off window advertisement, they will show off cloudy days. Cloudy days, the screen has a better chance of pulling up. They'll show off screens that have massive awnings over top of them, blocking a lot of the sunlight and all that. What if you don't have an awning? You know how much money awnings cost? Awnings aren't cheap. They're very expensive. So that means that I only am going to spend the money for your product, but I have to spend the additional money to be able to use your product. And that turns off people right there from the door. You know, it's like the same thing with the solar panel roofs. Not everybody can have those in, because some people don't have a roof that's structured for those panels. So you may have to go in and put in a whole new roof just to accommodate the panels. Because they're not going to go and put those in and bring an inspector in. They're going to inspect your roof and see if your roof can basically hold these panels. And if it doesn't, they're going to come back and say, hey, buddy, look, your roof's a little old. You know what I mean? It's still under warranty. Like, why? Because you're going to have to get a new one before we can put this in here, because we're liable for a lawsuit if your roof caves in on you. There you go. So that's where that costs more money. Where if you have like EcoFlow, has it where you can have a battery system, hook it all up yourself. No one comes in and do the installment. Panel systems are flexible and lightweight. They can't crash your roof in. You can put those things anywhere you want. They'll charge up the entire house right from there. Guess what? It doesn't really cost you any money to have somebody do the installment. It doesn't cost you any extra money out of pocket to redo a roof. None of that. And this is where they make their money. There you go. Is that simple ability or option makes and breaks a business easily. Whoopsie. So that's what comes into play. That's all the stuff I study. I watch other companies. I study them because, again, this helps my company. This is free education. I can get it today. Why go to business school? I can learn all that stuff right there. And it's worked because we used it for 14 years, but no problem. But yeah, that extra option, yeah. But you got to back yourself up. And I get people get really ticked off. Well, you're mad at me because I say back yourself up. That means your stuff is not backed up. You just clearly already told me from the door your stuff is not backed up. And if you're making stuff up, this is going to hurt you in the long run. It's not going to go well. Really not going to go well. Just takes one customer, one, to go to consumer fraud and file against you. That's it. And that's the end of it right there. Now, reason why people don't attempt us, because they see our demonstrations. We have over 11,000 video demonstrations on YouTube. We literally back up our stuff so much that I can go to my website. I can pull a website and pull up a screen paint, type it in, and it shows all the testing. So from the door, they already know from the door our stuff is tested. We do tons of demonstrations, fully lit environments, cheap low-end projectors, all that stuff. So they know that Mr. Bird has done his homework at the end of the day. So to walk me in the courtroom means this is going to cost you a lot of money. I couldn't care. Where's which one? I'm reconnecting. Anyway, as I said before, it's free advertisement for my company. So to walk me into a courtroom, not only am I going to work and get orders, but I'm going to basically get a contract to basically do all the white screens in that environment. So you're going to make money for me. Our stuff can operate in there, but no problem. So with that being said, now once I leave out of there, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you for the fact of wasting my time. Because you took time out of my busy schedule to bring me in for some dumb nonsense that I already batch number this stuff to begin with to make sure it works. Matter of fact, I showed the judge. Here you go, judge. Everything with batch number. Everything worked perfectly fine. And then repeat the batch number demonstration in the courtroom. Which means when we leave out of there, you're looking at getting a notice in the mail from my lawyer telling you that you got a counter lawsuit coming your way and you owe me $500,000. Which you don't have. Now, again, see, the only way you can back your product up, you're going to have to test it. Anyone can do that. You just have to make sure your stuff is tested. That's all. But if you skip them, you're in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Dippity-doo-dah, dippity-day. Nope, you're in a lot of trouble. Where's the freaking whatchamacallit at? The paint soup. I'm going to call this the paint soup. That's what it is. Now, like I said, the only people get offended over that are people making products. You know why they get offended? Because they're reminded. That's why they don't like Mr. Bird. Because Mr. Bird will remind you over and over, again and again, to test your stuff. And if this ticks you off and you get mad and you leave because you're upset by what I just said, you're in a lot of trouble. Because I could come in and find your company, buy your stuff, bring it down here, test it. Doesn't work right, file consumer fraud against you. That fast, that quick. Epson did it to Valva. They saw their demonstration. They've been in the business for years. They developed projectors for years. They know the difference between a 6,000 lumen projector and a projector that's not. And they're looking at that like, oh heck no. There's no way to do that 6,000 lumens. You know, okay, come on, call legal. Let's get this done. And they brought them in court and they won. Because Valva had no way to prove that their projectors were actually reaching 6,000. We caught them in lies. I got freaking screenshots of basically going over to their Facebook site, talking directly to them, having a long conversation about the pixel shifting capabilities and why they consider it to be actual 4K. Literally had a long conversation on that. And kept asking them, what's the base of your projector? Which means, how do you not know this? You developed a projector. What is the base of it? It has to be based somewhere. If it's not based at freaking full 4K, then that means it has to be some other resolution besides what it claims to be. So where's the starting point of that resolution for it to generate the pixels to get from A to B? And the guy's sitting there thinking like, oh shoot, because again, everybody else in there was asking questions like, okay, so it does 4K. This would look amazing. Does it work with this? Does it work with this component and that component? And can I use it in the fully lit environment? They were asking all the questions besides the most important ones. I watched the Kickstarter. At one time did I see anything in there talk about pixel shifting. The same thing with GM Go. Somebody sent it to me and said, hey, what do you think about this? I said, let me have a look at it. I looked at it, I was like, this is not 4K. There's no way in the world this thing's going to operate in this fully lit environment. That little cube at the end of the day, you know how small the lamp is in that thing? They're like picos. There's nobody wants going to operate in a fully lit environment the way they had it in that demonstration. I said, man, this is fake. Don't buy that. Sure enough, we got them to confess too. They sat there and said, we kept asking them, what's the base? What's the base of it? What do you mean by the base? The fact that you got to say, what do you mean by the base? Pretty much tells me at the end of the day, you don't even know what you're doing. What is the projector's actual resolution as you pixel shift it to somewhat 4K? And then the guy broke down in Valva and said 1080p. So let me get this straight. That projector is $3,100 or $3,700 in that range in there. And I'm going to pay for a 1080p projector that technically is not 4K, and it has a 3,000 to 1 contrast sitting on top of it, which is extremely poor because That projector has 4,000, and that thing was discontinued in 2011. So 2011s, 2012s, 2010s, in that area right there, those projectors are pretty much in that 3,000 or 4,000 range right there. So it's 4,000 is extremely good, but that's when that was very, very popular. Now, are you kidding me? You can get a basic 600 by 800 720p SVGA projector from ViewSonic with a 10,000 to 1 contrast sitting on top of it. So how the projector at 600 by 800 720p, it's going to have a 10,000 to 1, or an ultra short though NEC, it's going to have a 20,000 to 1 sitting on top of it, and yet you got a projector that's supposed to be a newer model, has a 3,000 sitting on top of it. That's another red flag that popped off. So, that being said, you could have went out and got an Optima GT 5500, which would have been full 1080p, the same as that projector, but you would have had a 22,000 to 1 contrast instead of the 4,000 to 1, and that projector came in at 1,800 when basically the Optima 55, I think, is 3,600 lumens. One's 3,000, one is 3,600 lumens. So yeah, you just could have bought a 1080p projector, pretty much, because you weren't getting 4K anyway. You were getting compressed. Compressed is not actual 4K. I've literally had this conversation multiple times with people, and they go, no, it's actual 4K. All right, I got something for you, Skippy. Go out and buy yourself a 4K audio receiver, hook it up to that thing, get yourself a 4K TV, run all that together, see what happens to you. You can get a 1-second sound delay. Because you know why? You're not actually picking up the 4K audio. It doesn't read. You're going to get a 1-second sound delay. It's going to feel like you're watching a movie in a freaking crystal cave somewhere. It's going to drive you nuts. Because your projector, well, you can't get a TV, sorry about that. Your projector is not picking up actual 4K. If I'm going to pay for 4K, I want 4K. I want the resolutions to read that I'm getting 4K. Nothing there, just saying it's 4K. There's no resolution there, just 4K. Oh, wow. You know, if companies start doing that, you're going to get ripped off on so many levels, it's not even funny. Any companies I see doing that contrast shifting nonsense and then charge you the same price of the actual 4K that does native 4K, you're getting ripped off. Enjoy that circus ride for a little bit. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Projectors have been skimming a little bit. I did a demonstration about short throw projectors. That the short throw projectors today don't act like the short throw projectors back then. The short throw projectors back then had these huge, massive fisheye lenses on them, where the short throws today have these smaller, regular sized lenses on them. The problem is, at 5 feet on a regular old NEC, you can easily get 180 inches. Easy. Because that's what I was using in the demonstration with the 200-inch inside. I had one of those projectors. You can easily get that. If you do a newer projector at 5 feet, you get 100 inches. Yeah, did a demonstration on that. You can look it up yourself. You can go over here to Projector Central. That'll show you the size that you'll get. Some people say, I have a short throw. Actually, technically you don't. You got a mid throw. That's what you got. You don't have a short throw. You have a mid throw projector. They tell you have a short throw. You don't. I realized that I got this projector. I went to go pull it back. I was like, wait a minute. That's as big as we got? What the heck is going on here? Yeah, because the older ones do that. They changed them. That's a jacked up part. They changed them. So, there are one's the older projector by NEC that has the huge lens. Those are actual short throws. I'm waiting for that to dry. I'll show you something here. And no, we're not going to go off topic today. I'm basically just showing you something that you need to see. This helps you out here. So, this projector right here, if you go with short throw, we're going to Projector Central first. Let's go over here because we need to see the screen calculator. That's going to help you and show you the difference. Now, we go over here and we get a short throw projector. NEC. My friend has one of these. He bought one. These are the real ones. Sure. I can't do that. I gotta go to Amazon. I gotta go to eBay. eBay has this thing. Oops, get over here. eBay. There we go. There we go. That one. See the lens on that? Those are the real short throws. Those are the real ones. They've got that huge, massive lens on them. Oh, this is a DOP, and that's a good price, too. Heck yeah, it's a good price. Oh, by the way, gotta make sure you watch out. What the heck is that? Hold on. Why does it look like that? See, this is the reason when you gotta be careful. Look at, see that right there? That's a dent. That's a huge dent right there. You see a dent in a chassis of a projector? One of the things you have to worry about is, you know how heavy a chassis is on a projector? It's pretty heavy. It takes a lot to crack one of those things. I know, I've dropped a few of these things. And if you get a crack in there, chances are there's other damages in there waiting for you. Let me see. All right, let's go over here. And I want to get, let me see. Also, two. Short throw projector. This is something awesome. All right, I said short throw, not ultra short throw. Anything with the big fisheye lenses, those are the short throws. Even this older one, the larger lens. So that's how it was. It was the large lens indicated you had a short throw projector. Now the ones they make now, there we go. That one right there is a beast. That's the one I used basically when you saw me playing the game Titan Falls. Yeah, these things right here, look at the size of that lens. These indicate short throws. All right, so we're going to take this one right here. We're going to go over to Projector Central. Projector Central. And we're going to come over here and click this here. We want to go over to Search. Go to second see it right here. Go into Search. This is also too, I'm going to do a tutorial on how to fix the, how to do 1610 projection screens, how to build them yourself, and basically how to do, here we go. How to do 235.1s if you're doing customized build for those. All right, we should have it right there. So at the bottom where it says or at the top it says specification, it's right here. Click on this, and this will bring you to the projector. Just short throw, and you get over here where it says screen calculator. Keep scrolling down, and there you go, screen calculator right there. Click on that right there. Now this will show off your projector. Let's do this at 16.9 because we can get 16.9. They do 16.10 by the way. And if you see projectors up here that say 4.3, they just don't do 4.3. They do 16.9, 16.10. I had a customer contact me and said, well, you know, it doesn't seem like it does the size I need. Now let me show you something. 16 feet, right? On this projector, 16 feet and 6 inches will get you a screen size of a whopping 483 inches. Yeah, that's huge. That's at 16 feet. Mind you, I was 18 feet in the house. Over here, we're at 13 feet. So I'm at 13 feet in here. What's this projector going to give me at 13 feet in the office? So in the office, at 13 feet, right here, from this wall to here, we're going to get a whopping 381. Mind you, that's 381 inches, right? The outdoor screen that we did, the big boy, was only 250. That's 381 inches. So imagine the size comparison. And I had to be back roughly around 27 feet to kick that, where this one's only going to require me to be anywhere in the range of 13 feet, which is the size of bam, bam. Yeah, there you go. All right, so let's keep that there. Let's get another Projector Central pulled up. Let's go look at the ViewSonic. Oof, man. My family's like, what are you doing? Working right now? I'll be there probably around roughly when the whole fleet shows up. Let me see. Let's go over and grab from ViewSonic short throw, the newer one. ViewSonic. ViewSonic projectors. Let's go to Amazon. And let's get a short throw. No. You're doing too much. We've been there already. Sonic. And let's get a short throw. That's like the whole thing with ViewSonic right now. Like, you ever hear them mention anything about that 235.1? Nope. It's never mentioned. You would think that was something you would mention, right? But nope, they don't mention it. I have no idea why. I contacted the company and said, well, you know what? After a point, I said, I ain't going to bother with it. Just leave it the way it is. They put in every single projector has it in there. I don't know what it is. I mean, there's nothing weird about finding weird stuff in projectors that they never mention. There's a projector that came out by Acer. It's a gaming projector. It was huge. Big, huge, red gaming projector. And it had something called a bending box. So the bending box would allow for the image to manipulate so you can curve your screen and use it on curved screens at the time when curved screens were popular. And if for some reason that particular item just never showed up, it wasn't there anymore. Maybe they sometimes in the middle of development stage, another company can come in and buy it out for a lot of money. All right, so let's get this short throw. Short throw projector right here. 500. I've had this one right here. $549. 4,000 lumens short throw. Let's come over here. And the reason why I bought this projector, because again, the 235.1, if I'm doing a screen for that caliber, that'd be fantastic. All right, let's go over here to projector central. Let's go put it here at the top. Bring it up. Oh, come on, I put it in there. I know I basically copied and pasted. Really? Seriously? Did we just not copy and paste that? Bam! Copy and pasted. What the deal? All right, now let's put it back on here again. Copy and paste. There we go. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Let's go down here. Bottom for specifications right here. And let's go pull up our... What do we got right here? There we go. Calculator. We're going to bring it at 13 feet. Like the other one's at 13 feet. At 1610, we need 16.9 to keep them even, Steven. And let's go over here and let's get 13 feet. See if we're right on this. So at 13 feet, you get 345 at 13 feet. And on this one right here, let me see. Where's our ViewSonic at? Oh, here we go. At 13 feet, you're reaching 381 feet from there. And we're both at 1610 for our sizes right there. This is supposed to be short throw. You get a much bigger image. Let's put it down to an image that other people can understand. Let's bring it all the way down to 100 inches. All right, now 100 inches. We're at 3 feet 5 inches from the screen. This will be on the NEC, which is roughly going to cost you about 150, 160. That's what they cost now. And let's go over here to our ViewSonic over here. And let's bring it down to 100 inches. Sorry, we're going to be at, how many feet we're at 100 inches? We're at 100 inches. Wait. Get this confused here. Get out of the way. We need 100 inches. Wait, you got to go by feet. You definitely got to go by feet. Let's see. We got to go by feet on this one. Sorry about that, people. Got mixed up there for a minute. All right, 3.5 inches, 100 feet, 3.5, 3.5. Oh, go back over here. Get back over there. Let me see. 9.5. 100 inches. Bam. Slowly got this one. Can we get the 100? What the freak? Okay. You figure it out. It's not giving me the 100. There. We gotta creep it. There we go. 100 inches. 3 feet 9 inches. 3 feet 9 inches. And right here, my price is not much. Feels like it's not much. It is when your projector is basically where it's mounted at, where it's sitting at. Especially when mine sits in the middle of the floor somewhere. That basically means a big difference. Let's go over here. And we're at 3 feet 5 inches. So yeah, that does make a big difference right there at 100 inches, 16.9. Let me see. Bam. We're at Amazon right here. And like I said, this is going to be a WXGA projector. This is the WXGA projector. The projector we're using over there is going to be an XGA. The demonstrations we're doing here, they're XGA projectors. Which means if you've seen the image on there, the XGA projector on our technology looks fantastic. Which means customers will buy this one first because you know what, not this one. The other one first because it's cheaper. It will cost them less money to get a much bigger image. And then on top of that, consider the fact that you're not going to really need 4,000 lumens if you're going to be sitting that close to the screen to begin with. You're not going to need all that. Just overkill. Not with our technology. Usually that's required for using the white and gray screens. You're going to need to cut through all that ambient light. And again, you are producing a ton of light to the screen on top of that. So let me show you here. Let me see. Make sure we get the model number of that projector. Which one is it? The other one. We have to go back here to... Nope, I need the one, the actual projector. Here we go. I actually have this projector. Let me show you the screen size. I was able to accumulate off this thing. And these are $204, but you can get them for cheaper than that. You can get them roughly like $160. I paid $130 for mine. I didn't pay a lot of money for it. And then I had another customer, he bought one, the same one I bought, and he got it for cheaper than mine. So it's not a lot of money for that projector. So let's go over here. And this is a different one. The other one had was a DLP. That's a really good one. The other one had back there. But let's go over here to my YouTube channel. Let's bring up here. And we can dig up that projector. Man, that is an amazing remote control car. What the freak? Soundtrack. Ha! I'm in the middle of my own stream. Oh, for a minute. Hey, Kenneth, what are you building today? I don't even know. I'm just working on some boxes. I'm actually in the room with you right now. I'm in the room with you. Who are these people in this room? Oh, I see a hater in here. What are you doing in here? There's a hater in here. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? All right, let's get out of here. That was fun. All right, let's go over here real quick. Let's bring our projector up. Bam. Yeah, I had this thing. I did unboxings. I had a couple of these things. This is an amazing projector. See right here? eBay, $125. There's no way in the world I'm paying $200 something for that projector. No way in the world. Get them for cheaper. That's the unboxing on it. But my Wi-Fi over there was freaking crazy. That's what I have to say real quick. I find it interesting. I'm going to do all my unboxings. on the Crystalwitch site. You will see how many projectors we have literally tested compared to people that are showing the same projector for about a year. How many projectors we buy within a year's time? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do all our unboxings. It's going to Crystal Ridge site. We're going to put it up there. Because I want to go through my stuff too and see how many of these projectors we got. We got a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's it right there. Minty! So you got somebody using the same projector in every demonstration. No, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to change. You have to buy a lot of projectors. You have to. Gotta see how your stuff is going to react on different machines. They're all not going to all play the same. Brand new. Brand new out the box. Not brand new, but I got to use. So right here, you seen we got a whole white wall. This is our technology in the middle. That projector, when I got people saying it, then again, I can't tell you enough. Look, you're an easy lawsuit for us at the end of the day. We catch you on YouTube making a statement that we're messing with settings and projectors in order to manipulate the image. This is going to land you a serious lawsuit because I can show multiple unboxings of we buying projectors in live, open them up, not changing any settings. The only thing we changing the settings on a projector is if they had the projector mounted to a ceiling, it's upside down. So we have to go in and turn that around. That's it. That's the only thing we change in it. That's it. So if we catch you in YouTube saying, hey, look, this guy's going and deliberately manipulating the projectors, again, somebody was compressing. But anyway, all the time they were compressing. They go in, not compressing, they were calibrating. And you say out of your mouth and say, hey, he's using high-end projectors to do this, that, and the other, this is going to land you a serious lawsuit in court. So again, like I said, we can walk into a courtroom, 1,000-lumen projector, show up with no problem whatsoever. You're done. Your lawyer's going to look at you and like, well, here's the deal right here. You're done. You're finished. That's what he's going to tell you because we can back it up. So when you sit there and say, hey, he's changing his settings, he's pushing the brightness up. No, we have done multiple demonstrations on unboxings on all types of projectors. And when we unbox them, we don't change the settings. We take it out, stick it in front of the screen, and we produce it. That one right there, we did the same thing with that one. I'm gonna start building on that site today. I'm gonna put all my unboxings on there, and we're gonna put that claim up there too. So, again, I told you I've hired some people. Their job is to sit there on a computer and scour YouTube to track down and find individuals that are doing this stuff. And then once they figure out where you're at, then that's where they go through the process of basically getting you ready for court. So if we catch you making that claim that we're doing something with our projectors, you're going to have a lot of problems on our hands because we have tons of evidence of unboxings. I warn people about that. You're going to make Mr. Bird a very rich man at the end of the year. We're suing a lot of people. We do our work. That's why I said I spent a lot of money buying projectors. Just like McAfee. McAfee's up there and said on camera. We got him on camera, literally saying my name and saying that we use 5,000 lumens, high power projectors to produce higher white levels. He's getting sued for that now. He's getting sued a lot of money for just making that statement. He's going to have to back that up in court. Again, I warn people, don't do that kind of stuff. This will get you in trouble. I'm going to do unboxings. I got to find all my unboxings. There's a lot of projectors, too. We got a lot of projectors we've done. That is the NEC right there. And we got multiple. Here we go. This is the NEC on the... Bought it again. I bought the projector again for $145. There's no way in the world I'm going to sit there and spend that kind of money for a projector. I know we can get it for cheaper. That's our silver technology right there, our dark silver technology. I had so many different versions of NECs, it's not even funny. This is all NECs. So when I got customers to contact and say, hey, look, I'm looking to get in the NEC projector, so and so and so, have you got it yet? And say, here you go, we have it right there. That way, they already know from the door that we've had this projector, we tested it, we had it in 40 lit environments, we had it on certified, we had it everywhere. So that right there tells the projector customer at the end of the day they don't spend a lot of money, and we've already tested this machine on our product. There's $60 projectors. We actually had one in every part of the house on the $60 projectors. They were so cheap. Oh, another unboxing. That's another NEC Ultra Short unboxing right there. Yeah, I'm throwing my unboxings up there. I'm reconnecting. Yeah, we got to get back over to this. But yeah, I'm gonna do a page on there on the Crystalwitch site showing all our unboxings. So again, like I said, if you're doing, for people who want to do screen paint, you can't do the same projector every day. You have to switch up. You have to switch up. I got 2 more projectors coming in. I like using the $10 projector because it costs $10. Now, I can do that. You know why? Because I have a history of switching my machines up. And I do it all the time. I'll shirt those $60. That projector $10. That projector over there $75. And I got 2 other projectors coming in. But, you know, when we're using the big boy projectors, the venues, you know, they didn't realize. Did you realize that all the other projectors, you see that case I had downstairs? I literally had 2 bookcases stacked with projectors in them. We had sections at 600, 900. I can go into my unit right now and do this. I'll show you something that they can't do. I had the Panasonics, 1500 projectors. This right here is a $90. I paid $90 for this NEC projector, $90. Look at the image I'm able to pull on a $90 projector that I picked up. 720p XGA. We could do demonstrations that other people can't do. And again, I can't express this enough about the condensed lighting. People have a habit of showing condensed lighting way over here. That's a complete fail. That's why when I see those demonstrations where people go, they send us videos. And in the videos, they show these lights way up over here. And then see that lip right there? This is where the screen will be tucked under this, protecting them from the light there. And go, look, I'm doing the same thing as you. No, you're not. My lighting is directly on my screen. And then this is a special screen I designed. It's got a bar light right here underneath of it to push more light on top of the screen. So when you sit there and send me videos like that, no, we send you back this. There you go. See? Don't send me videos of your lights halfway in the middle of your ceiling and your screen sitting under a lip, because that tells me at the end of the day that you're basically blocking light. That's why you have it that way. And some of them will have corners that stick out here and here. And then what they'll do is they'll put up like a little box area and push the screen in that little box area so it doesn't get affected by any light in the environment. And then any additional lights that they have installed on the wall, they'll put it in a box system. They'll put a wall here and a wall here to make it look like it's all a part of the environment, but that environment's been constructed to block and dodge ambient light so the screen looks better. And just you can just see it. So when light fires off, we all know it goes up and down. Any light that's pushing from side to side, it's going to be blocked off by them little walls on each side. That's why you got to watch that environment very carefully. And I seen that in his demonstrations. I saw where he had one of the screens that was near the window was pushed inward. The wall was basically pushed a little inward, so that way he could block some of that light. And when they open up the curtains, they won't open up the curtains this way. They open the curtains this way. Any light could come in and make contact with the screen. They open up the curtains on the far end. So if any light comes in, the screen can still maintain because it's being blocked on this side. They just open the light here, which is going to bypass the screen. Just give off the illusion that the area is well lit. Boy, they wouldn't like me if I walked in, if I was one of those people that had to go in there and do the review for freaking Elite screens. I'd be like, why are the windows all? Why are these screens? Yeah, I would have basically turn the lights on, and that did. Like, turn the lights on for a minute, off camera. I want to see that room lit up. See what happens to those screens. Now, see the demonstration we're showing here with all the lighting. Let me show you something. Go downstairs and look at this. See right here, lighting right over top the screen. 12 feet back, 720p. Upstairs, 720p. So when you sit there thinking you have to spend all that money, you do not have to spend all that money at all, period. That's what we've been showing y'all for years, and tons of demonstrations for years. You don't have to spend that money. You will spend that money on gray and white screens. You have to. You don't have a choice. Your contrast levels are poor. Your colors are poor. The ambient light rejection's poor. You don't have a choice. It's going to cost you more money. So when people were telling you they were saving you money, no, you were actually spending more because they were spending more. And keep in mind, they had to calibrate the screen. After spending all that money for an expensive projector, they still had to go in and calibrate because the colors were thrown off. Doesn't work. That's when I go into forum sites and they're showing calibration. I'd be in there cracking up laughing like, what are we calibrating? Are you kidding me? That's a freaking JVC at the end of the day. Projector costs $70,000. We're calibrating that? Really? Are you kidding me? That's a 720p projector right there. 60 bucks for my 720p projector. That's the one sitting over there. Fully lit environment. And you got people in there with ultra short throws. Mind you, my projector's not even kissing the screen. I'm at a distance throw. Because this projector is used for hospitals and stuff like that and schools. It's only designed to do 80 inches. So we got it past its comfort zone in a fully lit environment. And we're pulling up at a screen at 120 inches. And you got people who got projectors at a whopping Epson LS800 at 4,000 lumens, a foot away from a screen, and you can't read at all. So that's pretty messed up. Look at this. That's what I'm telling you at the end of the day. You're getting ripped off. Yeah, you're getting ripped off. You are getting ripped off. Projection screen companies ripping you off. People make products ripping you off. That's what you're getting. And then later on, you see Mr. Bird doing his demonstration. You go, gee whiz, that's jacked up. How come I can't get that same image? And that's why they contact us. Now, we're going to be on site pretty soon. And when I'm on site, it's a whole different environment, which I like. Because each environment is going to be more and more hostile. See? That's what you have to be able to do. For the naysayers, people who make those fake, phony products at the end of the day. See, I can come on here and show you demonstrations here, right? Now imagine us in a courtroom right now. Imagine this being a courtroom. Imagine that. And imagine you're saying that these videos right here that I'm showing are fake. They're not real. It's all camera tricks, high-end projectors. And I come in the courtroom and do this to you. You know what that means at the end of the day? You owe me a ton of money. More money than you have. And it may go up. It may go up extremely. We may be past $500,000. We could be walking in there maybe suing you for $5 million. Are you ready for that? That's why I make it crystal clear. Are you ready for that kind of impact? I'm in commercial right now. This is home. This is a home environment, and it's still super well lit. We're in commercial. Same thing. We got the XGA projector on this one. That's an ultra short throw. We're at long throw in here. YouTube. That's why I warn people from the door. If you think for a hot second that my stuff isn't real, let's go into a courtroom and see what happens. You willing to put 100 grand up? I'm willing to put $100,000 up. I bet you won't put that money up. I guarantee you won't. You know why? Because you know Mr. Bird is the real deal. All you can do is YouTube. They go on YouTube. All they can do is just chatterbox. That's it. But if my people catch your video and they find you're out there chatterboxing about me, then guess what? You're going to show up in a courtroom next to Mr. Bird, and you're going to watch this demonstration fire it right in front of you, and you're going to realize at the end of the day, you're going to owe me a lot of money. And before you fly back home, I guarantee you that I'll have the execution of judgment put on your lien against you, and before you step foot in your state, your stuff will be locked. You'll be homeless before you go home. I guarantee you. We will expedite it as fast as we can to make sure they lock it down before you reach your states. Go ahead and play. See what happens. That's why we warn y'all from the door. I come here time and time again giving you fair warning. You don't want to go down that road. Oh man, the fun we can have in a courtroom. Like, look what we can do. Look what we can do. Y'all have a contract. I'll be having orders when I walk out of there, passing out my business cards, and I'm going to get a contract from whatever city or township that is in order to be to go in and show off our technology to get a company contract to be able to go in and convert their white screens into our technology. You're going to get me paid and paid and paid again. And some nice publicity along with it. Because I'm going to use that to my advantage point. Yeah, we have somebody take us to court and I hope a company does it. Oh, that's my dream right there. Have a certified challenge us and bring us into a courtroom. Oh my goodness, that would be fun. But I don't think they're going to do it. Because I'm pretty sure they watch my videos like, nope, we got to stay away from that joker at the end of the day. Don't stir that one up. No, they don't stir the pot up for us. Look at that. Okay, let's get back to this. I like to back things up. That's why I turned on the projector. I like to back myself up at the end of the day, you know? I can repeat the same demonstration here, but in commercial. So for all you people basically were skeptical about buying my stuff, you're going to regret that decision pretty soon. Because again, as I told you before, we hit out here, anything could change. Our prices may go up. So again, those who had the chance to get the advantage point of our technology, lucky you. Those who didn't, well, just have to dig a little deeper to get it. And the thing about it, too, on top of that, there's no other place to go. I'm not being rude here. There's no place to go. Where are you going to go to buy a screen at? Our technology has beat everything so far. Black Diamond, you're going to buy from them? You're worrying about my price being expensive. Wait till you try $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 projection screens. That's all certified territory. So there you go right there. And we could beat that stuff at the end of the day. So you didn't spend money for something that we could take out for far less, save you a ton of money. So again, there's pride is involved in. Other than that, you're going to be sitting there soaking and upset because you literally could do it for much cheaper and a much larger screen size. And you're not taking that outside, I guarantee you, but you can take ours outside. What about white screens? Come on, we got splatter screens in here. We crush those things all day long. What about gray screen paints? Again, we crush them all day long. So what else is there? It's just us. And we cover everything now. We got gaming technology, we got floor technology, we got interactive technology, we got projector mapping technology, we got advertising technology, and just going on and on and on how advanced we are now. And we even got technology already lined up for 2027, all ready to go. We're future-proof. By the time it takes for one of those certified screens to catch up to us, we'd have already developed 9 or 10 different technologies designed to eat them up. But, like I said, I got investors that want to push to charge more money for our products because they know we can get it. That's a PlayStation effect. That's what I call it, the PlayStation effect, because there's nothing there. Or we could do the opposite and basically, because I'm not a big fan of the certified screens. I'm really not a big fan of them at all, period. We could basically charge a price that certified screens would cause them to implode. Or they're definitely going to take me to court for that one. I guarantee you they take us to court for not charging enough money. Because, you can go to court basically for monopolizing. They did to Microsoft. Because Windows were everywhere. They're just running everywhere. And if you own too much and you grow to be too powerful, they will downsize you. They did it to Microsoft. So, with that being said, yeah, they're probably complaining that we're probably hurting their prices and their sales because our technology is more advanced than theirs, and we don't want to charge a super crazy expensive price. I wonder how that would actually work. I need to talk to one of these lawyers downstairs to see if that can actually happen. There's a financial attorney in here. Oh, man. And he's a cool guy at the end of the day. So I wonder about that. I'm curious. Can they do that? Can they make us bring our prices up? I don't think that's even possible. But then again, anything happens. I'll tell you, anything happens in business. The very thing you think that can happen will happen in business. So, I wouldn't be shocked and surprised about it because it will definitely hurt them. We got technology way under their price belt. This would definitely hurt them. Why would you go out and spend $5,000 for a projection screen when we can do it for better? Now, they again, like I said, I've been doing it for years. I've been testing their stuff for years. They're not going to take me to court. I know for a fact they watch my demonstrations. I know that for a fact. They walk me into a courtroom and they find out this thing is actually real. They're going to have a lot of problems. Number one, we're in a courtroom. This is going to be on court record. So it's going to be everywhere. Like I can go on and read about how Valve got crushed by Epson in court. Anybody can read about it. So that's advertisement for us. On top of that, it's going to show that their product is inferior to our product. Our product's going to be able to take it out. Everybody's going to be able to see it, again, on court record. That's free advertising for my company. That's throwing us in the limelight, literally with a flashlight. So again, no, they don't want to go down that road for there at all, period. They would rather just have it sit somewhere at the distance, way over there, and do what we do, as long as they're watching us and we're not doing anything we're not supposed to be doing, like saying this product is a scam or saying that their product is a ripoff. I say it's too expensive because I feel it's too expensive. But saying things at the end of the day potentially would hurt the product, that they can go hit me with, which I would never do because, again, you have to respect the product line. You have to. But anyway, so as long as I stay over there, I'm good. And they're over here. But once we start inching over into expos, this is where we become a problem for them. Because once we pop up at an expo, now we're face to face with them. They got a problem now. Because now you have a screen sitting in an expo that can take yours out easily. And not only yours, everything else in there. It can do it for far cheaper. It can do it without spending money for expensive projectors. It has outside capabilities, which means you don't need a separate screen for that. It's fully ultra-vertical compatible. You're not going to be able to compete with that. And on top of that, with our FLE technology, we can absorb 10 times more light than their screens can absorb. So, what does that make that screen now? Obsolete. There you go. Checkmate. We become the dominant screen. See, screen paints, on the other hand, are different. You guys are actually in the same area we're at right now. But the problem is you can't reach our technology because we're way over here where our technology comes in at. That's why we put the match embedders. Each time you do a demonstration, you try to get a little closer, but the problem is we develop technology so fast that we can be way over here 1 minute, and the next minute we can be over there. So it makes it virtually impossible for you to catch up to us. But we keep doing these insane demonstrations and making new products and raising the bar. We did a flex demonstration to match your betters, to challenge you to come toward us to basically see if your product is just as good as us. And then once in a while, we'll come whoop right to your front door and we'll buy from you, but you'll run away. And we're just sitting there like, well, I guess they don't work anyway. Let's just go back over here where we're at. And they'll be back over here talking trash. And we'd just be over there like, okay, whatever. Let's go back over and start working on some stuff. There you go. Just a nicer way to put it at the end of the day. That's how it works for us. Now, that's it with them. That's pretty much it. And the other ones don't acknowledge us at all because they don't want us to come near them, which we don't care because we're in our own little world right now. But the certifieds, at the end of the day, they're the ones that are watching us. Because if we pop up in their front door, right now they say, well, Mr. Bird can't get here yet. He's going to have to build to get to here yet. But when we do pop up, it's lights out. And the one thing they worry about the most is the technology they're seeing now becomes a super threat to them. But if these guys are developing technology at that fast, at that rate, what the heck is going to pop up at our front door when he finally gets here? And that's the big question. What are we going to bring in there? Because we have two types of screens. We'll have Omega and we'll have an AdTech. And an AdTech absorbs sunlight. So again, and if the AdTech walks in there, every screen in there is canceled. That's the message to the certified screens. When we pop up in that showroom, I want you to know that there'll be an advanced version of an AdTech sitting in there. And I guarantee you, if you have not done your homework, if you have not developed any form of black technology, you're going to have a serious problem when that screen enters that environment. No little warning, just giving it to them. Hopefully they take it. But until then, we just develop our technology. And the cool thing about it is it's super affordable. Because again, our booth's going to be brighter because we have to have brighter booths because the screens are designed to absorb more light. I'll just show it off right. We don't require expensive projectors. When everybody's in there, we're working with high-end, expensive machines. We'll have old, outdated 2012, 2014 model projectors in there and still show better demonstrations in them. The gunmetal screens they have in there, they can't talk about contrast levels. How are you going to talk about your screen producing a high contrast level when you have an actual black screen in the environment? And as for the concept, or the carbon. As for the carbon black, well, the carbon black's got a problem at the end of the day because that AdTech can absorb sunlight and your screen can't. And keep in mind, you require 8,000 to pull when that screen can do it at 1,000. It costs far less. So again, yeah, it has advantage points way beyond your screen. So that's that. But anyway, yeah. So chances are, yeah, we're going to get all the publicity. And they're going to come in with these beat up projectors, stickers, band-aids all over them. Yeah, I'm going to make these projectors look absolutely hilarious. Because I wanted them to draw attention. And then that's not the end of it, because every time we come back to one of those expos, you never know what the heck we're working on that we could bring in there that's going to basically, change things a bit. Like if we walk in there with a color technology, imagine a screen that's purple or blue or orange or red, and we can actually pick up white levels, the same white levels that a white screen can read. There you go. Mind you, they're just now getting started on black technology. The certifies, this is the Diamonds, I think their first black screen compared to our skill level in black technology. I've got screens that go back 10 times, like 8. We got the Digital One 4K Crystal Onyx was an actual screen paint. That's how it started 8 years ago. So between here and now, we have that much knowledge in black technology. We got a lot of catching up to do. But good luck on all that, because right now, my main goal right now is to basically topple the industry. Yes, ruffle the feathers, cause a little bit of ruckus. That what we say, yeah, not? Yes, that's what we're into for now. We want to basically show at the end of the day that we can make superior technology for far cheaper than anyone can afford it. No more basically worrying about if your pockets are deep enough or whether you get your income tax, none of that nonsense, breaking the bank just to buy this whole setup. At the end of the day, still be stuck in the dark, still calibrate, and still can't pick up a 100% contrast level. I like that. I can't wait to do that in there. And I can't wait for the person that comes up and says, well, what about matching black paint? Oh, yeah, I was waiting for someone to say that. Here you go. Got a demonstration right here. As a matter of fact, do me a favor. Take that black paint. I want you to paint into my screen. Yeah, I'm literally going to have it paint into the screen. Talk about crushing it. At the end of the day, I'm going to crush it. All the test demonstrations you've seen me do, we're going to do it right there. Black paint demonstrations. They're only going to try to come and try to bring my screen down. They're the ones, we're not worrying about these little people who make these fake products at the end of the day. No, we don't think about you at the end of the day. The ones that we're basically going to give us the highest challenge are the certifiers. The certifiers are going to try to find every way and any way to try to debunk our technology to get us out of the way. And that's where the fun's going to begin. This is where we bring in the biggest and the best, the ad tech. Oh my goodness, this is going to be insane. They can't take on an ad tech. They can't. Ad tech will wipe all this stuff completely. Man, I can't wait for that. We're going to do a demonstration inside first with the ad tech with a ton of light, and then we're going to take it outside at 12 o'clock in the afternoon where they can't go. You know what's going to happen? They're going to try to buy us out. They're going to offer us a lot of money. A lot of money. I've heard every person, even my investors, sat there and said that you know what's going to happen. They're going to offer you millions of dollars for that technology. What are you going to do? We're not going to sell it. Because when we sell it, then the whole purpose of it is to develop better technologies, to even the playing field between the haves and have-nots. That's what it's about. That's why I like that guy who basically over in England, who made that stuff, the 3.0. And the reason why I got such respect for him, because the guy who made the Vent to Black could have made it available for everybody. But he didn't. He sold it to this guy who was super rich. He bought it, and he made it impossible for anybody else to have it. Only he has the rights to it. So the guy who made this stuff called 3.0, which is a chemist, went and made this super ultra black paint that actually reacts the same way this stuff does, without all the freaking crazy paintings. You need some freaking crazy hazmatic suits to paint that stuff in. Vent to Black is crazy. But anyway, he actually made one. And he made it and sat there and said, I'm making this so that everybody has a chance to see what it's like to experiment with this stuff. And because of him, I got a chance to design some pretty cool stuff. There you go. So if we make our technology only the certain rich can have it at the end of the day, what about the everyday Joe, the mom and pop? Somebody wants to do something cool in their restaurant, like turn the walls into giant fish tanks and have a setup where they can do interactive play on the floor with projector mapping and interactive technology. Can't afford it because it's too expensive. There you go. There you go. And then as for the naysayers, at the end of the day, you don't like our plan at all, period. Your job basically in the day is try to take my company out. That's your job at the end of the day, because you don't want to see my company rise in rank. The problem is we already did rise in rank. We rose in rank 8 years ago when we developed that black technology. We already rose in rank before you even existed. And now you're trying to keep up to somebody who's been here longer than you. Good luck on that one. Now I'm going to be way over here. Matter of fact, let's show you the distance of where you sit at between us and what we developed. This is you. This will be us. This is pretty not far enough away, but you get an idea. And we are way over there. And this is where you guys are at. An interesting thing about it is when we do come to your front door, well, you're met with cancellations and post office mail fraud and everything else under the sun. If you can back something up, you can. People show up to things they back up all the time. All the time. They will skip something just to come there to show you to back it up. They will. And it's got to work. We say, what? Really? Oh, I can't hit that home run over that wall. Really? That's what he said. They'll show up in a business suit and everything. Drop the briefcase and everything. Oh, who said it? Who said it? Oh, you? You? Okay, watch. Yeah, because they can back it up. It will literally pop up. Oh, yeah, somebody said that you never hit over the green wall. What do you mean over the green wall? I did it just about every day when I was a kid. What are you talking about? Well, they said so and so. They will literally, when they get off from work, show up with a suit on to my here you go, hold my jacket. Knock that ball out of the park over and go, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. In your face, in your face, in your face, in your face. And then get in the car and drive off. Yeah, why not? You can do it. Why not show it off? There you go. So now let's get this done right here. We're done our case right here. Boom! We're doing drying time. So where we're talking, we're doing drying time right now. I'm just sitting there and watch paint dry. I have done that one before. Trust me. And I'm talking about without a fan. I've literally done it without a fan. So again, yeah. So we're just getting some time to kill to get this thing to dry. And I want to get the power supply up here. Not for you, Snacky Doo. Mr. Snacky Doo. Mr. Snacky Doo. It's all about the snackies. Now, this rough area right there, don't worry about that. We got tubing for that to smooth all that out. We're just getting it all sized up and ready to go. Look at that, man. That's looking beef. Beefy. Extra beefy. All that comes in here, comes out here, all through here. Got that all done. And we got lead light tracers. Now, the tracers we're going to use are not going to be the one, like the chasers. They're not going to be the ones with the individual lights like that. They're going to be like that. Much more smoother, much more better, much more beautiful. Let's show you what the lights are. Look at that. That came out super nice. I got to go pick up some glue in a few minutes. Because I want to glue this in. This has to be glued in. This is not glued in yet. This one's already glued in. This one has to be glued in right there. Look at that. I love it. Absolutely love it. That looks freaking sick. That splattered paint job came out looking absolutely awesome. So that jungle back there is going to look insane. Not like this. It's going to have some interesting design, but all the plastic plant life back there, it's all going to be individually painted to glow. Give off a kind of a radiation kind of look to it. It's going to look absolutely sick. As a matter of fact, I had to start working on that nuclear reactor plant too on top of that. So get that thing mounted in there because we got to build around that thing. So get that started. Oh, crap. Don't we need vegetable oil for that thing? We do, because they have that vegetable oil in it with the lights that glow inside of it. You give off that kind of a nuclear lit and pipe tubes and piping all around the area. And then put the vegetation on top of it. Show some leakage. Oh, yeah, we had to do some leakage too. Show that, of the vegetation, all that changed. This giant man-eating plant. This robot giant toad in there. So I'm freaking sick at the end of the day. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. But yeah, make your own cases, man. Why you spend all this money for a case? You can make it yourself. I got so many people waiting to come see this thing, get this thing set up. All right, we got this part done. I'm going to put that over there. And we're going to start on that one right there. The ice box. I got a paint job doing there too right now. That's why I feel when I got naysayers that come in the room and they be like, oh, it looks like trash. It looks like garbage. It looks like this. I can't see it. Can't see it because you're narrow-minded. That's why you can't see it. You have no imagination. You have to have imagination to build and design. To create, you need imagination. You know, you kind of remind me of the people back in the 80s when they did these like kind of print out artwork, the ones you had to stare at for hours and hours and hours just to see the objects that were behind all that print. Like multiple prints over and over again. Little dots, little dots, little dots. But inside there were these images. And a lot of people, some people couldn't see it. I say a lot. Some people couldn't see them. And they would stare at them things and couldn't see it. And everybody, oh, shoot, there's a spaceship right there. Yeah, remember George? Basically, they had one of those illustrated arts in the bathroom. He came out there almost naked. He came out there naked, no shirt on. Yeah, because he's in there staring at them. He literally forgot to put his shirt on. But yeah, it's like that illustrated art. You got to open your mind to see it. And people sitting right in front like, you don't see it. It's okay, sorry about that. Anyway, let me reconnect to get actually behind camera. Anyway, so yeah, you have to look at it. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's like FedEx. FedEx has an arrow in their name, FedEx. Once you see it, you will always see it all the time, but you don't never notice it, the arrow in FedEx. So next time you see a FedEx truck, stare at the writing, and you will see an arrow in there, which somebody pointed out to me, and now I can never unsee it. But anyway, for the naysayer, you have to open your mind to see it. It's right there in the presence. Can't you see it? Can you not see it? Of course you can. You know why? Your brain does not function on that level. You refuse to accept the reality of thinking outside the box. Good gracious, we are seriously outside the box. I just thought about that. You have to open your mind. Accept the beauty of the art. Become the art. Be the art. Love the art. Gotta have fun. Come on, man. That's where people get mad at the end of the day. Life is too short. You know, I told you at the end of the day that anger basically causes all kinds of problems at the end of the day. It causes heart attacks, strokes, gray hair, all kinds of anxieties. It causes a lot of problems. You got to learn to let loose that frustration and anger and put it into something positive. Go build a birdhouse, for goodness sakes. You know what I mean? Build a birdhouse. Get a birdhouse, stick a web camera in there, have a bunch of people watching online and birds coming in. I watch these videos all the time. You make some money at the end of the day. Take the negativity, make it into a positive. Or either that, you're just going to have a heart attack one day and just key over and go. Because anger at the end of the day will kill you. It's going to stress the daylights out of you. And getting angry at us at the end of the day doesn't make me upset at all, period. Matter of fact, we don't even hear from him anymore. Because all communications are blocked. But even when you were communicating, again, it just shows at the end of the day that I'm ruffling your feathers. Yes. But yet they refuse to make a screen paint and challenge me. They will not challenge me. Where's the challenge? I feel like Troy sometimes at the end of the day. Is there any in the house? Is there anyone there that challenges anyone? Anyone in the house? I literally feel like that sometimes. Now, for some people get mad and go, oh, you're just bragging. No, I worked to get here. I worked. Look at the countless demonstrations, the time, the effort, the money that I put in. The work every freaking single day to get the job done no matter what. Whether I was sick, whether I was dying, whether it was this, that, and the other, I got it done. I earned my right. So for anyone sits there and says at the end of the day, well, I do have my right. And I got the right to crush your product too when you bring it out, because I will. And a hot second, if you mention my company's name, if you sit there and say that my company is fake and blah, 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 we will come to your front door with our armies and we will crush your kingdom and turn your ashes into ashes. So it should be. So it is declared into law. So I have spoken. I get to go to pretty soon. I'm going to whatchamacallit, my freaking Renaissance. I'm going to have a ball over there, man. I get to talk like that all the time. I got to figure exactly what I want to be. I was thinking about going as a king, but nah. There's only one king, and that's God. So I'm thinking about just going as a knight in armor, because I do like the knight in armor. I'm waiting to bash somebody with that freaking shield. I'm only joking with you. They have jousting, though. You can do some jousting. Not jousting, but some fighting, medieval fighting. Nothing brutal or anything, but it's pretty fun. I can't wait to check this whole thing out. I like the whole movie. I like the way they talk and everything. I do like the movie. All right, let's get this started, because right now I'm getting hyped up because we're about to bring out the other piece and get that thing done. Naysayers are freaking. I love the naysayers. I love the haters. I do. Haters, at the end of the day. I have no hatred for you. You do know that, right? We don't hate you. You just hate us. We don't hate you. I like you guys at the end of the day. I really do. You guys basically put a smile on my face because you basically remind me every single time that we are crushing it. Crushing it. Crushing it. What are you doing, Mr. Bud? I am crushing it. Crushing it. Alright, let me get this done. I'm getting hyped up and excited. Bam, family's probably calling like, where are you at right now? See you on a live stream acting goofy. Get over here. We're doing Thanksgiving. Alright. Alright. But I'm working today. Let's get the other PC over here built so we can basically show off that master design. And again, build it for cheap. I don't like to pay for stuff. I really don't like to pay for stuff. If I can get it for cheap, I will buy it for cheap. Alright, let me see. And I can't be that extreme cheapskate nonsense. Buy stuff that's just crap at the end of the day. No, this stuff literally has to work. It has to be good. I just don't like spending the money for something I know I can do it myself. I like to be self-sufficient. Can we say the words, ladies and gentlemen? Self-sufficient. I'd rather learn how to build a house than buy one. I'd rather learn how to build a car than buy one. By the way, those of you mechanics at the end of the day that build cars, lucky you. Man, if I had that skill level, yeah, I would go into a car dealership and go, I can make that. I ain't go to freaking, they go to the freaking junkyard. You know what they're getting at the end of the day? Put that whole thing together. Built that car from scratch. That is freaking amazing when you could do that. They built a car. That's why people are insane. You built a what? You built a car. I got to go into a dealership and I got to buy one. Get stuck and probably buy things at the end of the day I don't even need. Overpay for this thing. And you're building cars? At that particular point, I don't think I'm buying a car anymore. I think at the end of the day, we have to make a little trade-off here. I'll design some advanced high-end projection screen and you build me a car. Because you can build it the way I want to build it. Especially if they do body work. Heck yeah. How much money body work costs at the end of the day? It's crazy expensive. But anyway, let's get over here and let's get this done. Let's reload this and put it where it needs to be at. Can you believe I drink no coffee in the morning? No coffee? I'm just naturally hyper all the time. No coffee whatsoever. Let me explain something to you people. Coffee drinks me in the morning. You can't figure out why you can't get up in the morning. You sit down, you have a cup of coffee, like, wow, this coffee was absolutely amazing. It's got me up ready to go to do my job. Meanwhile, coffee's sitting around with other coffee saying, whew, if it wasn't for that cup of Ken, I would have never got up in the morning. So, by the way, you're welcome. Coffee drinks me to get up in the morning. Yeah, I'm really super hyperactive, so yeah, stuff like that. Like, I don't do that whole yawn process and and then basically hit the snooze alarm. Like, once I'm up, bam, I'm up. Ready to get it done. Ready to start the day. Get the work done. Get the work done. Get the work done. Get the work done. Because I have to be up at around 4 o'clock in the morning every freaking day. I get in here at 6. Get everything done because we got the home front to take care of. Bust down, clean up, get it ready. Get over here at 6 o'clock in the morning. 6 o'clock in the morning every freaking day. Can you imagine how much work I get done in a day? How much I accomplish in a day? 6 o'clock every freaking day. And so I have to be at 6 o'clock? No, I'm just wired for it. At 6 o'clock. I'm just up, bam, up, getting things done, just doing demonstrations here, there, here. All right, let me get this done because I'm all hyped up as it is. I'm gonna walk up and out, it's like, what the heck is wrong with you? I need pumpkin pie now. You need to charge your fueling stations. Let's put this over here, our beautiful PC. Get this out of the way so Topper doesn't have temptation. He does. He's like, Taco will be fantastic as a nuclear safety plant inspector. Can you imagine the nightmare behind that one? Like, what does that red button do? Like, whatever you do, don't touch this button. He will walk past that button like 5 or 6 times. Like, Warning, 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 nuclear meltdown. Oh, shoot. But then you got 9 lives anyway, so, he's good. That's not somebody you want to be driving behind. Somebody, number one, that has zoomies, horrible at merging in traffic because they like to stop in front of you and take their time creeping. They do that on purpose. And then take off like 100 miles an hour, just zoom and take off because the zoomies kick in. That crazy. And if cats were able to drive, can you imagine that nightmare right there? Zoomies all the time because they just take off. When I mean right next to them, boom, they just take off out of nowhere because the zoomies would kick in. And next thing you got cat driving a Lamborghini, traveling at almost over 200 miles an hour, is blasting down the street, and then they just stop. They do that dead stop. Look around and take off again. You imagine that. How insane that would be. And then they're merging in traffic would be horrible. Because they walk in front of you, they just stop. Suddenly just stop out of nowhere. And they just walk real slow. Sometimes they stretch your legs in front of you because they know you're back there. You can't do jack about it. Ugh. And then they just sit there and they just idle. Look around like, hey, excuse me, I'm trying to get past you. Like, Then turn around, look at you like it's your fault. They drive up to one and they just stare at you, look at you like, and seems like a personal problem to me. Yeah. All right, whatever. Don't care. That's literally what their attitude would be. And if you were to get out of the car to come out, there's all these claws come out there like Wolverine. Yeah. Not good well. Not good well at all. They just be like that. Yeah, you would be a horrible driver, man. An absolute horrible driver. I can imagine the accidents you had. Your insurance would be through the roof. And why is your insurance so high? A bit of a bad driver. But on the bright side of it all, when you think about it, driving at night would be amazing for them because they got built-in night vision. So, trying to figure out how they took off at 60 miles an hour, 200 miles an hour, high speed. And probably, no, they wouldn't hit anything either because they got fantastic reflexes. So on top of that, they got mad control. So yeah, that wouldn't be an issue. And cats drift. You ever seen a cat drift before they turn a corner? Their legs will actually kick up faster and they'll take off in speed. They had this one cat, he was running around the corner, and one would jump off the wall and take off and get his speed up when he hit the corner, and the other one would basically take off and his legs would still be kicking like on Tom and Jerry and take off. They'd be fantastic drifters because they have that control. So yeah, I think cats, especially over in Japan, they were like Tokyo Drift. Because they can basically hit all those excellent cat-like reflexes. They'd be amazing drivers, but still uncomfortable to drive around. Especially in the car with them. Like, yeah, so I got this new car from the dealership. Got to turn it over to my friend Frank. Yeah, the big rock wall on the corner. They hooked it up, man. He put all nitro tanks in the back. Got 12 tanks in the back. Super nitro. And then they got catnip hanging up in the freaking window and all. They're like over their the mirror and stuff like that. And so how fast does it go? Like, oh man, I'm gonna show you in a few minutes. And, you imagine them in the car and they go meow, and all of a sudden the gas in the car takes off and they're going 100 miles an hour. Meanwhile, you're in the back of the trunk hitting that whole G-Shock thing. Yeah, you would freaking be insane, wouldn't you? Yep. Nighttime, the cat vision comes, eyes explode up, night vision activates. I'm pretty sure that's probably what goes on their head, like night vision activated. Yeah, they'd have insane reflexes. I think dogs, on the other hand, would be more caution drivers. I think they would. I think they'd be tempered. I think they'd be road ragers. At the white road ragers, because, again, imagine if a pit bull was driving a car. Yeah, right there from the door. Not only is he going to cut you off at the end of the day, but if you get out of the car, there's a 100% chance you're getting jacked up. I think each dog will drive even different, depending on it's definitely how it's breed on which one would at the end of the day. That'd be interesting. I want somebody to do a video on that. Do an AI video on that. That'd be kind of cool to see how different animals will react to basically driving. But that'd be pretty cool. Because dogs all have different, well, I don't know, cats so much. It's interesting because if you look at different breeds of cats, they still all carry the same kind of criteria, activities, and personalities. But dogs have different personalities due to the fact of the breed itself, which I find interesting. I mean, they're all going to bite you at the end. That's pretty much it. I can imagine German Shepherds, if they were basically guard dogs and they could talk and go, nope, I'm sorry, Jerry. I'm not seeing you on the list. I'm afraid I'm going to have to bite you. I'm not seeing you here. I'm smelling intruder. Got a funny feeling about it. By the way, what's in your pocket? I smell something eerie in there. That'd be funny. A friend of mine was telling me how he basically adopted a dog that used to be a drug-sniffing canine. And his friends smoke when they come over, and that dog goes off on them. So you have to remember, when they come over, you have to freshen up. And it's not enough. They're so sensitive to that smell. It's not enough to basically go in and put on a little cologne. They can smell past that, because sometimes what people do is they'll put like stuff in the bag to try to throw the dog off, like coffee, cinnamon, perfume, stuff like that, and the dog can still sense it. So that won't even work. You imagine some people who smoke so much weed, and like I said, I got friends who smoke a lot of weed, that is actually in your skin. Like I've literally almost got a contact high from somebody who basically had that much of it in their skin. You know what I'm talking about. Somebody's spying like, gee, you're freaking smoking. And they got nothing lit, they're literally that much. Boy, it must be a freaking nightmare for you at the airport. Because I can imagine what dogs would trigger off. Quite frankly, I wouldn't even travel to another country. You're looking to get locked up real quick. Because you could sit there and say, I don't have anything on me. And I have anything on me, but you can smell it in your skin. Alcoholics go through the same thing, too. I had a friend of mine who was an alcoholic. They sweat it out of their pores. Whew. Well, goodbye, liver. Yeah, that's pretty much gone. Yeah. That's somebody drink. I know people who drink themselves to death. Yeah. And it's not their fault, and I'll tell you why. It's an addiction, you know? It's an addiction. That's what happens. They have an addiction. People look at that and they go, oh, but they can stop. No, technically, they can't stop. They can't stop it. It's really hard for them. They can't just, some people are lucky and they can go cold turkey and they can just quit. And some people just can't. They can't do it. They need help. So it becomes an addiction. Pretty much anything you do too much becomes an addiction in the day. But yeah, they can't help it. They need help. But the thing about it is, you can't help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves. They have to hit absolutely rock bottom before they actually figure out they need change. And I've met people who have been sober for years, freaking amazing, absolutely amazing, to be able to kick a habit like that. All right, we are inside the freezer box. Let's go take a look at glory. Look at it, boom. It's absolutely amazing. Our freezer system. Oh, we're not done with this thing. This is crazy. Pops coming in like they're melted. So now we got more control of the case, because the other one had a little dip in it, and you really couldn't see that flat surface. Now we can see the flat surface perfectly fine. So what we want to do is we want to definitely put some ice cream in here. I definitely want to have some of it where it's melted and spilling over the side a little bit. Definitely that. Definitely some ice cubes in there. Come on, naysayer. Stay in the room. You can't taste it already. You have to love it. Love it. Learn to love it. Need to love it. Want to love it. Just love it. The neon paint we got right there. And naysayers sometimes get a little angry with me. Hey, take some of this inspiration. Do something with it. You can make a birdhouse out of cardboard. Right? Technically, you can. If you sit there and say you can't, you can't. It's not going to be weatherproof. You drink out of milk cartons, right? What are milk cartons made out of? Cardboard. There you go. And they make a coating that you can spray them. Oh, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I could have made a birdhouse out of cardboard yet. I mean, literally, you could. And you're fearing about it blowing all over the place because it has no weight to it. Yeah, it's easy to do. The bottom base of it, you could fill it with something like small, light sandbags. Nothing really heavy is going to tear apart the box, but that would keep it weighted. And you can pretty much bungee cord it right down straight and anchor it to the ground with a corkscrew. It ain't going nowhere. See, that fast solved the problem. I should have did engineering. Why don't we do engineering? How come we didn't do engineering? Oh, I forgot. School system cheated us. All right. I'm going to stay dead. All right. Where do we go? Where do we go with all this madness? What do we do? What do we say? Where do we begin? Well, we get that thing here. Finally, we get up there. I got to keep it up there for right now. We don't have anything sticky to put up there. All right, we got a little caulking going on in here. Let's take this shirt off because we're definitely going to jack this up. I'm going to keep my short sleeve on, take my long sleeve thermal off because our arms have to be exposed all up in there from the door. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some caulking. I think there's a caulking right there. Some caulking. This right here is your best friend in the whole entire world. This right here, you can make all your beautiful ornaments. Wait a minute, we got some other stuff we can design with this too, right? Can we? How come we don't build any freaking architecture designs for like mountains and trees and sculptures and stuff like that? You can actually put some pretty cool stuff with this. Okay, later on. We're doing too much, and we need the knife. Where's the knife at? Why? Where's the knife at? Seriously, why don't you never keep track of that thing? Papa, you got to take my knife inside. Let me see. Dang, damn it. Really? Where's the knife at? I'm seriously get this blade on me all the time. Oh, it's on me. Alright, here we go. Remember, people, the knife? That's a knife. Remember a freaking crocodile? That's not a knife. He pulled out that knife out of his boot. That knife came out of his boot. He said, that's not a knife. This is a knife. That Bowie. Alright. Pulled it out of his boot. Someone's reaching down to get a knife. This is not a good idea. There's something really big knife coming out. Okay. Let's get this sawed off on the end. And then I'll show you we get our cardboard. Because the cardboard is what we use to put this in with. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Thanksgiving, which I'm curious. Is it Thanksgiving today? I'm not sure. Basically, yeah, we have to put, I don't know. I do a lot of work, so sometimes I forget. I really forgot one time it was Sunday one time by mistake. Learned to basically mark those dates down. Fell over. Now this right here, this is your best. This is the best tool you will ever use for doing this job. The best. A piece of cardboard. Don't go buy anything fancy. This is all you need. If you would have bent that top, you bend that top a little bit. Man. So he's just too happy. Why is he always so happy? Why? Why can't we make him sad? Naysayers at the end of the day. You want to know why you can't make me sad? Because I serve God. That's why. Simple and plain. I serve God. That's who I serve. God makes me happy. God lets me know that even on my days where I can be sad, I can still be happy. That's why. What the devil tells you within the day that you can try to make me sad. And what God tells you, that is not going to happen. And what God tells the devil, it ain't definitely going to happen. Go ahead and run somewhere else. You cannot make my servant unhappy. We serve God at the end of the day. It's a glorious thing when you put your faith in the Lord. Yep. Everyone will be sitting around the table talking about how thankful they are. And I will say I am thankful because I serve my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That's what makes me happy. I said, the Lord doesn't talk to you. The Lord does talk to you. The Lord talks to you every day. He tells you not to do stuff you shouldn't be doing. Talks to you. You pray to him, he will listen to you. He does. God listens to people all the time. He listens to you. Because he's in heaven, he doesn't hear you. He does hear you. He does talk to you. All the time. Just have to basically listen when he talks to you. That's all you have to do. You have to understand that everything happens for a reason. And the reason why it happens that way, because the Lord has better plans for you. That's why I said, if I'm doing a business contract and it doesn't work out, you think I'm angry about that? No. God saw something that I can't see. It wasn't meant to be. And that's what it comes down to. It was not meant to be. We saw something that didn't look right, and I couldn't see it. Only he could see it. Now we do the stack. This is the bit we put the mic sickles in. Put the stackies in. So we do put them stackies in. This refrigerator is coated in so much ice. Who cleaned out the refrigerator? Anybody defrost this thing? It's absolutely hideous in there. Your refrigerator is so full of ice that you literally can just shoving stuff in there, hoping it just sits in there because you know it's just packed in there. Look, ice buildup. Somebody did not defrost the refrigerator. Now look at that. We can't get anything in there. Can't get nothing in there. I need you to stay up here. We got something to tag the back of this so to keep us up there. Hold on. Oh shoot, I forgot to remember the computer's off. Like, oh shoot, computer's on. Forgot it was off. But anyway, gotta defrost the refrigerator because it is an absolute mess in here. So much ice everywhere. You know what I mean? Gotta be careful because I don't want to get anything near them doors on this side of the door. So we have to pack up that ice in there. Ice always builds up around the doors. People find that the ice inside of the refrigerator is addictive. Then people scoop it out and eat it, but you're technically not supposed to do that because it's pretty toxic because you're using antifreeze to keep it nice and cool. But you're not supposed to do that. But people do it anyway. It just tastes good. It tastes good. What's it in the freezer? Put our drops in there. A little bit of build up in that area right there. Right here. Put a little build up here and here and here. What are you doing, Taco? Are you being extra furry? You don't even know, do you? You don't even know who made you extra furry. Who made you extra furry? I look at that every time I see a dog, you gotta ask them that question, like, who made you furry? Who has done that to you? Who's made you furry? You ever asked a dog that before? Have you ever asked your dog who made him furry? I know you talk to your dogs. Come on, you got to. People talk to their animals. I don't know anybody doesn't talk to their animals at all, period. If your dog did talk, he'd look at you and like, you know what? Why in the world would you ask me the dumbest questions? They'll probably question you the things you say to them. Like, you ask me the dumbest questions, I swear. Like, really? Am I extra furry? What the freak do you think I am? I guarantee if dogs had the ability to speak, they would have these conversations with you like, really? That's the name you gave me? Mr. Milkbones. That doesn't even sound... You know the dogs that tease me at the freaking dog park? Mr. Milkbones. Really? You mean to tell me you're supposed to be the most superior race and you couldn't think of a better nickname or name for me as a Mr. Milkbones? Yeah, they'd be having that conversation with you. You know what? I'm going to chew up your good sneakers. Mr. Milkbones. This is a funny name for a dog. Mr. Milkbones. What were you thinking when you dyed me yellow last year? Really? Yellow. I don't know why people dye their dogs. That's just... Why would you dye your dog? That's just stupid. I don't understand that. Dyeing your animals. Like, why would you do that? I wanted him to be the same color as my car. Yeah, this is stupid. I've never heard of that. Dyeing an animal. I don't think he wants to be that color. I think he wants to be the color God tended for him. Not that color. Got a little ice build up here. But yeah, I'm like, oh, I dyed my dog a different color. I thought he would like it. Try dyeing the cat, see what happens. The cat will claw you up. That's why there's certain things you can... Well, actually, some cats are a little bit more subtle. And then you do run the risk of getting clawed up. They do have claws. And I never can understand how people declaw their animal. I would never declaw a cat, ever. For what? They need that. The claws are very, very important for them. They have to have their claws. That's just my opinion, but everybody has their own opinions and stuff. But I just don't see it. See, they're making biscuits right now. That's why I just don't even make these claws. You can't make biscuits without claws. They need them. So people who come in and basically remove their claws because you feel at the end of the day, I don't know what you feel at the end of the day. I can't tell you that. But anyway, I think they need their claws. Look at that frost. Look at that extra frost kitten right there. Extra frost. extra fast. We can't do too much with this. I'm just having some fun with this because we have to wrap that in with that kind of a silver tape anyway. But we can do our sides a little bit on here. You know. We don't want to build up there because we have to put it there. But we do need that build up there. Because you know that refrigerator, it's got that extra ice in there. Reconnecting. Oh, how dare you fall off like that? Stay up there. Come on, man, you're messing up my work here. You're messing up my work. Got my Picasso on. Getting my Picasso on. You're messing up my work. I like that Pauly Shore. Some of you couldn't stand him. I like Pauly Shore. Hey, ooh, buddy. Keep on cruising. He was more like California talk. But I did like Pauly Shore. Some people didn't like him. I'm not a big fan of Wanda Sykes. Her voice drives me nuts. It does. That's why I couldn't finish the freaking the Borderlands, the Fairy Tale Teen. I couldn't do it because the freaking Wanda Sykes' voice was freaking irking the daylights out. I couldn't do it. Nope. The minute they showed her brother, oh no, we did not do that. Yes, they did. I never finished it. I bought it. It's still sitting there. I never finished it. Couldn't do Wanda Sykes' voice. Don't get me wrong, I like the actor and all, but that voice, oh my goodness, can't do it. Hollywood, do me a favor, stay away from movies, stay away from the classics, leave them alone, stay away from video games, leave them alone. You jack them up every time, because they put their own 2 cents. They'll get somebody that never played the game to play the movie. First things first, the characters roll off. It was just, the acting was bad. It was horrible. It was just horribly done, man. They jacked Borderlands up. They jacked it up. I saw that finally. But I wanted to see how bad it is. Sometimes you may like it and everybody else may hate it, but gee whiz Louise. You know, the last time I saw a movie that bad was Leonard Part 6, and that was with Bill Cosby, and that was really bad. Now they're talking about doing Bioshock. Don't touch that, please. Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Somebody needs to go in there with a long fly tapper and a squeeze for a spray bottle. Like, leave it alone. Don't touch it. Always got to be messing something up. It's rare that they get a movie that they actually do right. I didn't like the one they did with freaking Twisted Metal. The one with freaking, the one they were supposed to do. I didn't like that. They jacked that one up too. And then with freaking, Disney buying freaking George Lucas, sold out to freaking Disney. Why? Of all people, this is not the ones that should be having Star Wars. They don't jack it up. They don't jack stuff up. They got good movies. Disney has some good movies, but Star Wars is not for them. It's just not for them. It really isn't. I can find time in a bottle. I know. I love that song. I love it. I love it. I'm looking forward to snow. I hope we get a lot of it. Every time I say that, people give you the most ugliest looks you ever seen in your entire life. Like, really? Or you're one of them. One of what? One of those people that be out there begging for snow. Yeah, that'd be me. That would be me. What's your gripe with snow, people? We're getting stuck in it? In snow? Okay, look, I'm not trying to tell you how to run your life at the end of the day, but I think if I was living in an area that was plagued to get snow at the end of the day, I think I would drive a vehicle at the end of the day that basically would have the ability to maneuver through that mess to begin with. Because again, I've seen people buy the high-end sports car. So you go out and get yourself a high-end sports car, and it snows. Now what? What are you going to do? Because those cars actually do not have traction system that you see in freaking commercials. I've seen a Lexus slide down hills and slam into utility poles. And I remember the Audi Quattro, whatever that car is supposed to be called, the one they showed on ice, Yeah, they don't travel on ice that well. I've seen them things get in accidents before. If that was the case, you would never need any kind of insurance for the wintertime if that thing had that ability to be that stable on ice. No. I actually was in a car and I literally felt the car sliding over slowly and the person had to keep bringing it back. Yeah, I'll get a Jeep any day. Any Jeep. And it don't have to be a high-end Jeep. Get a Wrangler. Wranglers are fantastic. I would get a Wrangler over a Ford F50 if you're talking about being in the snow. A Ford F50 is not going to do the same thing a Wrangler is going to do. A Jeep Wrangler is built for that. They're built for that kind of territory. Yeah. So I would go with that. It's not a cheap vehicle. You know what I mean? You can get a lot of cool. It's got tons of freaking upgrades for that thing. And on top of that, they're built for that kind of weather. And if you get one that basically has the exhaust systems that pushed up, you can just travel through deep water without flooding your engine. So again, that's what I would go with. You know, if you notice, that's why I said people who live up in the Poconos, deep up in the country area, do you see any of them driving around with freaking Lexuses? And no, everybody up there's got some kind of all-terrain 4x4 vehicle. At the end of the day, that's what they have. You know why? Because the environment. But I get up here and I got friends of mine who have cars. And so with a car, but no, you can get a Jeep for a pretty cheap price. But I don't want to get a car. I understand you want to get a car. Okay, then you know when it snows, and that'll just be you. And that's just them. I look at it this way. I usually don't buy a vehicle. If I was going to get a vehicle, I don't get a vehicle for show. I get vehicles for performance. I couldn't care less about basically trying to show up a vehicle to make it look. That's me. Everybody, like I said, to each his own. But for me, I would get a vehicle for its ability to be able to see what it can do. Utility vehicles, military vehicles, that's what I like. Because that vehicle is designed to do stuff, like not get stuck in the snow. And definitely get it modified. If you got multiple vehicles, like you got the Jeep and you got the vehicle, then yeah, you could do that because you could drive that car. You know what I mean? And then you got an all-terrain vehicle, or your wife has one. Maybe she's got an all-terrain vehicle. You can use hers. So I guess, yeah, that works out real fine if you can do it that way. You know? But if you're not, and you do live in an area that's plagued with really bad snowstorms, I do suggest you not buying a car. Because if you go up here to the Poconos, a little farther up, there are people out there. They live up in the mountain areas. They have all-terrain vehicles up there. Every single one of them. Got the whole crank system in the front to pull you out just in case if you get stuck. Frank's stuck in the snow. Let me go out there and pull him out. Hey, Frank, you got to get one of these babies at the end of the day. That's what I'm talking about. That fancy car you got over there, that thing can't do jack out here. You know, you had that conversation, right? Especially when you're out there and you're stuck in the snow and somebody pulls up one of the vehicles like, yeah, I got you. Here you go. Man, you got to get rid of this, man. This is not for you, man. You got to get yourself one of them all-terrain vehicles, man. These things live in this. They love this. The difference between people who drive all-terrain vehicles and people who drive cars in the snow, they play in it. People got all-terrain vehicles. They're out there freaking driving in the snow, doing donuts, doing all kinds of stuff. They're enjoying it. This is play day for them. You driving a car out there? Yeah, play day for you. That's a, what the freak is that? That's them. Freaking, they snowplow comes through, hits your vehicle, they drive over that stuff and come right out. Car, cause like, you come out there and you see your car plowed snowed in, you're like, I'm just gonna go back in, forget about this day. I can't. That's the first thing that pops up in my mind, right there from the door. If I was gonna buy a vehicle, yeah, basically snow. I like to be in snow all the time anyway, so don't want to be stuck in it. I have one of those backup systems in it, just in case, you know, if anything goes out in the vehicle, at least I can heat up a heating blanket or anything with the emergency backup unit in there. Yeah. I'm not about show when it comes to a vehicle. I'm about more like survival. That's for me. That's what I like. Reinforced crumple bars and all that stuff. If I can get my hands on it, titanium armor piercing steel. Because not only does it make my truck bulletproof, but basically, I mean, if you slam into that thing, I got a better survival chance than you have at the end of the day. I'm into building the vehicle at the end of the day that's designed to basically to be more of a utility vehicle, all-purpose vehicle, than basically for show. I would like that's something that travels at a tremendously high speed, but also too, if I have the choice that I want to go off-road, I have that option with no problem. Which I saw that happen in somebody's vehicle. They had a souped-up truck, man. That thing was unfreaking believable. That thing was hitting some high speeds. I mean, literally, that thing could basically catch up to a Hellcat. It was amazing freaking. The engine of that thing was amazing. Then that sucker went off-road. I was like, oh, fell in love with that, man. Oh, hearts are popping over the top of my head like anime. I was like, oh, that is freaking amazing. Freaking had hearts popping over the top of my head like anime. That was impressive. That's impressive, man. Especially the ones you see basically they just take off on the road and then hit the ground and splash your wood and all that. That's what, like, I would never wash my vehicle, never. What's the point of me washing it for? My stuff would have I would have so much dirt on my car that I can literally grow grass off the bumper. I am not joking. I'm dead serious. It would look just like that. Because it's an all-terrain vehicle. It's not that it look pretty. It's that it look used. Would never wash that thing. I bet you wouldn't lean up against it to take a picture off of it. Wreck your clothes. Yeah, man. That thing would be. My buddy washes his car all the time. He said, man, you couldn't be parked next to me. You would trigger all my anxieties. So no, I would never wash that thing. Never. People be writing on the side of it, please wash me. I'll put down next to it. Never. I would never wash that thing, ever. Maintenance and get it all fixed and all that stuff like that, all the tune-ups, yeah, I'll pay for all that, no problem. But I would never wash that thing, ever. Yeah, I want so much dirt on my vehicle that I can literally grow grass off a bumper. That's when I know I have achieved my goal. Walk past a car wash, they just look at me and just cry like, wow, I just want to wash it so badly. So badly, like, never. Never. My vehicle's gonna stay dirty. Got a nice whole job. This is the easy part to do. It's the pat down, people. The pat down. The pat down. So we start making our frozen ice. Ice, baby. We gotta thin this out. We need a thinner pat down stick. Gotta make a thinner one, people. Hold on for a minute. We're making a thinner one. We're getting the smaller areas. Once I had a naysayer that I sing because my voice ain't the best voice, and it's not. I like to sing either way. You know what I mean? Whether you don't like it or not, I like to sing. But anyway, and I might not know all the words, but I like it. See, that's what I mean by absolute freedom, people. When you get to a point in life where you don't care what other people think, you live for yourself. This is when you have reached true freedom. People that are locked within their own minds. They're actually imprisoned in their own minds. Always afraid about what other people think. No true freedom. You live for other people. You might as well take your paycheck and hand it to them. Because you live for other people. Just work a hard job. Just take your money, hand it over to them. That's what you do. Because, you know, you live for them. See, my ex was like that. She's not used to basically being open with people. Well, I work in sales all the time, so yeah, not a problem for me to have a conversation. I told you I went to Disney World. It was in that whole line situation, and I heard somebody talking about this car that takes off at a tremendous speed and slows down. It's like some kind of test vehicle, and I was trying to figure out where that thing was at. Apparently, this family has already been on it. So I yelled over. I was like, "Where's it at? Where's it at?" So it's over so and so and so here and here and there. Why don't you come on over here? We can talk. It's okay. I popped over there too, and she was like, "We can't go over there." Yes, we can. Why not? They just said, "Come over there. Let's go over there." What's the problem? We're not afraid they're gonna bite. So we go over there and have the conversation. She don't say nothing. I'm in there joking. laughing, having fun, the whole 9 yards, everything. She's all nervous. And long story short, trying to get to over, had this restaurant near Space Mountain. And she wanted to go too, so we go over there to get into this restaurant. We didn't make no reservations whatsoever because I figured it wouldn't be that crowded, but then again, it is Disney. Get over there, and we see the family over there chilling. Come on over, come on over. No, we can't go over there. You can stay right here. I'm going over by. I went over and ate with them, met some new people. I bump into some people all the time. We at Disney. I bumped into a few people in Disney that I might have seen at the ticket line. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? What's up? Not much. Where you from? So. Really? That's pretty cool. Where you at? Oh, Philadelphia. Ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing special. People always say that. Anytime where they're coming from, they always say it's nothing special. But you find it fascinating because you haven't been there yet. You know what I mean? Really? From over there? Oh, that's freaking crazy, man. How long you been living over there? From time, a little bit here and there. Okay, that's pretty cool. Met somebody came in from Paris. I was like, well, that's freaking cool, man. Paris? Really? And you came to Disney World? People go to your area to visit. Literally, go to Paris for a trip. And you're here? Okay, that's awesome. Bump into them again. They had the Congo line. She didn't want to do the Congo line. You know why? Because she was afraid about what other people think. I did the Congo line. I was in there jamming. I was in there with a 78-year-old man was in there kicking it. He was in there. That's why I jumped in. He was in there kicking it. He was on the Macarena. He was in there kicking it. He was getting it in. I was like, oh, snap. I'm getting in this one. So I'm just going to sit there and watch. Okay, be it. I'm out. Let me explain something to you. If you basically ain't got the heart to do it, I'm not going to stick around like a wallflower with you. I'm going to go do my thing and have my fun. You want to get in there? Get in there, you know. Let me put an icy effect on it. It's icy. Look, it's so icy. Why is it so icy? We don't even know why it's icy. Who even knows? I'm talking to you guys like I talk to my pets. I do apologize. You're getting all excited. Do you not know? What do you not know? What you doing over there, Taco? What you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? He's in the scratching post. You need a tall scratching post. Yeah, you definitely need a taller one. What you doing? What you doing? Get the zoomies. Get the zoomies. You weirdo. Yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. I do what I do because I do what I do. Round. He doesn't meow. He doesn't. He goes round. Round. No growl thing. I don't know what it is. He goes round. Whoops. See? Told you. Always under my feet that quick. Almost stepped on him. Almost stepped on him. You almost got it, buddy. Almost got it. Told you. Be horrible drivers. Horrible freaking drivers, man. Suckers will be right up on you. Like, why is he so close to me? Right up on top of you with the headlights. Knowing you don't need them because you got night vision. Remember on freaking, was it Ice Age? The cat? Where basically he was supposed to act like he was asleep. And he wasn't really asleep. He was awake the whole entire time. His eyes went clink and claws came out. Yeah, it's Taco. That night vision activated. We got a nice little frost up in that. Look at a nice little build up and frost in that one. Look at that. It's extra icy, people. It's extra icy. Oops, we got to get this out of here. This definitely should have been pulled. I can find time in a bottle. I'll tell you, that song's going to be in my head for a bit. The Muppets, if you saw the Muppets version, was beautiful. Beautifully done. Oh, man. Building from cardboard. I know I got the naysayers that came in at me angry about the cardboard. It's bitter on it. Come on. Why you built from cardboard? Who does that? Who does that? Who builds some cardboard? You're just cheap and poor because you can't be. Really? How old are you at the end of the day? That sounds like something like kids do at the end of the day. Kids do that nonsense. How old are you? Really? Oop, that's me. My bad, people. It's called gas. We all do it. People act like somebody breaks, but like, oh my God, you committed a horrible crime. You should be hung for it or shot at a firing range. It's a normal reaction. People do it. Get over it. Jeez. Now, if I had done that when I was walking past you, then we have a problem right there. But other than that, no. It's just basically part of the human body. Jeez. Grow up. But anyway, yeah, getting back to the naysayers. We're like, why are you building out a cardboard? Why would you do that? Because I can. That's why. That's why I do it. That's why. How come you don't crack books? Oh, because you can. You don't do it. That's why you don't crack books. There have been people building them with cardboard for, man, longer than me. Longer than me have been people building with cardboard and designing with cardboard. I show you people making furniture, all kinds of stuff, you know. That furniture company, they make cardboard furniture. And they make more money. I guarantee they make more money than you. They make more money than me. They sell that stuff all over the world. They make a living making cardboard furniture. Think about that one, people. Think about that. Cardboard furniture. So when someone sat there and said, who would buy that? Apparently somebody's buying it because they're in business. There you go. I can't imagine basically, man, can you imagine the naysayers basically around other people at the end of the day, shooting down their dreams at the end of the day? Oh, you can't do that. It's not possible. I can't do that either. That's not possible. It's like you guys drink vinegar and lemons all day long. You're just bitter. Can't do that either. That's impossible. It's not so. I can't be done. It can't be done. So bitter. I know you want to voice your opinion right now. I know you're angry at what Mr. Bird is saying about you. I know you want to get there and rant and scream about how you basically see outside the box. But I wouldn't say you see outside the box. I would say more like if you take the smallest box possible that they can humanly make, this is where you would be at. Because you don't believe in anything. You remind me of that show on The Twilight Zone on Kick the Can. That's what you remind me of. People who don't basically think outside the box miss out on things in life. That's what happens. They miss out. They have fully regrets. They live in the life of the shoulda, coulda, woulda scenario. That's where you lay at. That's where you live. That's where you dwell. The shoulda, coulda, woulda. I coulda, and I woulda, but I shoulda. You're afraid to take chances. You're afraid of failure. The sad thing about it is, when you're afraid to take chances and you don't want to fail, you have already failed because you didn't take the chance. Doesn't that just blow your mind right there? See, got that crazy literature for you to wake, get you woke. Look at that ice build up in there. Oh, that's making me feel absolutely amazing. I like it. But anyway, yeah. That's the whole thing. You've already failed. You're afraid of failing. You did fail because you didn't try. That's why you failed. When you try something and you fail at doing it, doesn't make you a failure at all. Shows that you have the ability to be able to try. And that's better than basically not trying at all. But like for some reason, I should say at the end of this, Yo Joe. Because yeah, Joe would give those inspirational speeches at the end of their show. My thing with my mom used to always say, what's the worst that can happen? Try it. You never know. That's true. You never know. So just go out there and try it, people. You want to do salsa dancing? It's on your list. You want to do it? What you waiting for? Why you got to wait for it? Get it done. Go out there and do it. You're afraid of what other people think? That's why they're there, because no one dances well. That's why. People say, I don't want to go there because, I don't dance so well. It's called class. That's why you're going there, because no one dances well. If everybody danced well, they wouldn't have to go to salsa class to begin with. That's why you're there. You're there to learn. So you make mistakes. Big deal. That's how you learn. That's the learning process of basically learning something new. Your mistakes, you will have to learn that. I learned and made a mistake here. Next time we install one of these things, make sure everything's all mounted together. It makes things much easier. See, I wouldn't have learned that if I didn't try. There we go. There you go. That's what we talk about. There we go. Try to be inspirational. You know what I mean? Now, says, I want you to know something. I love you. Do you know that? I do. No, sarcasm, I don't do. Yep. I don't wish anything bad on you at all, period. I wish you grow up and be adults. I do wish that. But I don't hate you. No, I told you. We don't give the devil that satisfaction. At all. So, no, we don't hate you. You hate me, I know that. But we don't hate you. That layer we put in there, that icy buildup, you get all that from a piece of cardboard. You have to bend it just right so you can get that curve to go in there just right. And then, and only then, will you be ready for the buildup. The buildup usually happens in corners. So we get the buildup. Get the build up in those corners. You have to become the ice, people. Become the ice. Feel the ice. Be the ice. Get those build-ups in there. Don't wait. Don't fall on black ice and become the ice, because you become the ice and the pavement and everything else along with it. And then the people who didn't clean it up, they will become the lawsuit. So make sure you clean up your ice, people. You don't want to become the lawsuit, which I find interesting. And I could never understand this about the sidewalk. You know, if a cop's sitting on your sidewalk, well, you can't get him to remove because that's city property, right? But if someone falls on it, it's your property. And I find that interesting. How is that so? You know what I mean? How is that so? You ever think about that? It's true. Now, if you got a driveway, it's your property. No cop can sit in driveway. We can actually tell them to move. They have to go, because that is your property. But if it's on the sidewalk, that is now city property, if they're on it. But if someone falls on your property, it is your property. Like, they can't go sue the city. No, you get sued for that. So that's when you have a conversation with a cat, like, oh, so let me get this straight. So bottom line is, when you're on it, it's basically, a lot of you not. I had this conversation with an officer one time. When you're on it, it's city property, but if someone falls on it, it's my property. And he goes, well, I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. Yeah, typical cop-out question, my friend. Typical question. You just enforce the rules that are made by the people that corrupt the rules. How dare you? How dare you? I just enforce the rules. Funny. Sound like Judge Dredd for a minute. I am the law. I am the law. I hate Judge Dredd. That was another worse movie that came out. Another video game they screwed up. Freaking Sylvester Stallone was in that one. Oh, that movie was horrible. It just kept saying the same line. I'm the law. I'm the law. But the law. I like his accent at all. I like his accent, I do. But that whole freaking Judge Dredd was horrible. Jeez, through the whole movie. I'm the law. I'm the law. It's really kind of pushing on that one. But I did like him in freaking Demolition Man. Him and Wesley Snipes. I liked them. Demolition Man did a good job on that one. What's the password? Teddy bear. Remember that? The password is teddy bear. Because they wanted some chaos. That's what they wanted. They wanted some chaos. And they're tired of the boredom of all the peace. They wanted the chaos. which tells you at the end of the day that you can't have total peace. That's virtually impossible. I like it when these people have been doing it for years. You can't say it's just Gen Z because it's not just Gen Z. You know, you had the Flower Children from the 70s. You know, they didn't want war at the end of the day. And then you have people think they're going to go out there and you can stop war. You can't stop war. You can't. War will be war, always. War's been going on since the biblical ages. You will always have war. Connecting. Yep, you always have war. Now, if we did with video games, we're still going to have war. It's still war at the end of the day. No one gets killed and all. But you always have war. So, you know, Gen Z and whatever, different races, there's one from each race. You know, they come out there and they want to stop war and say that we need to have peace. That'll never, ever happen. It's virtually impossible. You know, you can have peace for a moment, true, but you're always going to have war. Always something somewhere is going to trigger off something. You're going to have it one way or another. And the team that has the best firepower is the one that wins. So you're not stopping that. But you got people go out there and they'll protest war. It's not going to do any good at all, period. Your voice and opinion not really going to be heard. You're going to be met by brutal force. We've seen it. It's going down from history. That people go out and they'll protest war and you'll just be met with brutal retaliate. That's what they'll do. They'll bring in. And let me tell you something to you at the end of the day. You know, people over here in America who do protesting, keep in mind, if you were in a third world country and you did that, they'll never hear from you again. So the fact that you do have freedom of speech, when you sit there and say, what about my freedom of speech? The fact that that officer over there is not caving your skull and you're not sitting in some jail somewhere being tortured, you do have freedom of speech. Because there are some places that if you do that, they'll never hear from you again. So again, you do have freedom of speech, the fact that you're out there. But if you think you're going to change, you know how deep the government goes at the end of the day? You're not changing any of that. That's why when people become elected for president, you have to understand, they only have a certain amount of power. Draining the swamp, you're not draining jack. You're not doing any of that. You're just making statements. You can't drain the swamp. Swamp has been there before. Some of them people have been there before Confederate money. You're not draining that. Are you crazy? You know how long they've been there? The business deals, things they were running way before you ever came into the picture. You think you're going to change any of that at all? No. President, and I hate to put it this way, and for people want to get upset, I don't care who it is. They're puppets. And I'll tell you why. You can't change anything. They give you a few bones. That's it. Here's a few bones. We'll let you change a couple things on the list, but you're not changing anything. Name one president to date that's actually completed everything on his list he said he was going to do. There isn't any. They can do a couple of things. That's why in the next campaign, they always repeat stuff that they were supposed to do the first time and do the second time. Unless they're getting there and they're lazy and they're not doing anything, but they can't. Because again, keep in mind, you can't go in there and make a bill without them basically voting it in. It doesn't become a bill until it's voted in. It's got to go to the Senate before they actually make it official. So it could take forever for a bill to go through. And they could sit there and tell you that, hey, look, we're going to do this, this, and that. They can make the attempt, but the chances are it can be voted out. And it can never happen. And it's just sitting on the back burner until somebody digs it up again. So that's what happens to that. But technically, you don't have that. And the reason why they do that is so the president doesn't have too much power. That's why. Now, mostly around election time, this is the best time where we start asking for stuff because this is where they basically want to look good. You know, a lot of things and programs will get funded because they want to look good on camera. There you go. But anyway, at the end of the day, that they're just puppets because, again, they give them a few bones. You address the people, and that's the end of it. And you're not going to do what you think you're going to do when you come up in here. We control this. You don't. That's what they'll realize when they get up there. We control this. You don't. We've been here long before you came up here. You think you're going to come up here and start changing things around and doing this, that, and the other? No, I don't think so. They get that prep talk. Remember your place. Remember why you're here. So if you think that if you play ball with them, then you got a better chance of survival. If you don't, then you got to go. Look at Bill Clinton, right? Bill Clinton was for the people. He was for the people. Whether you like it or not, he was for the people. And they didn't like the fact that they couldn't get Bill to bend. So they have to figure a way. Let's get how to get rid of Bill. So we have to get rid of Bill. We have to figure out exactly who would know more about Bill's life at the end of the day. Who would know more about his life and the Secret Service? Secret Service is around you 24/7. They know everything about you. Your arguments, your fights, and all that. They know because they're around you. They got to guard you all day long. They know everything about you. So they'll contact the ones that are closer. What problems does Bill have? Oh, so Bill has a wife at the end of the day who doesn't really do the things that Bill likes. She just neglects Bill because she's about power. And she's not really about basically him. She's about power, which kind of makes me think maybe she got in with him because maybe he was in the politics. He's in the public eye, and she needed to get in there because, again, it's harder for a woman to get into get into that field, and maybe this would be an easier way to get through. You'd be surprised, you'd be shocked. But anyway, people have brought that up before. But anyway, she doesn't get Bill what Bill likes. So let's get Bill a girlfriend. So Bill can make the mistake to cheat, and we can get rid of Bill. So, mind you, I knew a guy, a friend of mine who worked for the Secret Service. He ran along the side of the car with the president. So he tells me that when the president gets out of that car, there are certain areas they have him go to. You will go here, you will go here, and you will go here. These are the only 3 areas you can go to. We have serious security in these areas, snipers, so nothing happens to you. In order for anyone to get that close to him, they're going to have to review everybody in that section that's going to be there. They have to know that. And even in that area, there's going to be Secret Service in there to make sure nothing happens to him in that section. They have to. Because, again, he's an open target for any weirdo. So, whoever can get that close to him, they would have to know. They would have to know from the door. Getting a random stranger just walk up to the president, that's insane. That's extremely dangerous. So they have to make sure that they know everybody in these sections that they have him go to. And that person, Monica Lewinsky, and every single time that he got out of that vehicle or where he was at, she was always there in front of his face. Every single time. Enough times to be there to develop a communication back and forth between those two, smiling and laughing, her showing interest in Bill when Bill was not getting attention at the home front, and she felt the need that Bill needed. Every single time, she was always there. Did you ever notice that? And every time when she came there, he was always there. Always there, always there, always there, always there. She was always there every single time. They changed him out all the time. They have to change security protocol. They have to change him out. You never know if we don't change them out. That person could be coming back. Their intentions could be something completely different. It could have changed over something they could have watched or saw. They could have changed the way they thought or way they're thinking. So they could be a different person by the time they come back the next year, next week. Somebody could have changed their mind. It could have been brainwashed. A number of things could have happened. So let's change this person out and let's put this person here. And let's take this person out and let's put this person here. Keep them rotated. So if this person right here basically goes to a bar that day and he gets some brainwash nonsense that goes on, and they tell him, hey, look, you get close enough to this guy at the end of the day, we need you to do so and so and so. So he's thinking the next day I'm going to be to go up and get close to him. He can't because they rotate. They put another person out there. So now he's back in the line. There you go. But her, every single time, was right there. Every time she was there. You ever look at the background of the people? They weren't the same people. Every time she popped up, they weren't the same people. She was the only one that was the same person in every single area where he was at. And anytime they changed the areas of where he's going to be at, okay, you're going to be here, you're going to talk here, you're going to talk here, you're going to meet these people here. She was at every single one of them. To the point where she saw her enough times to build up emotional feelings, which didn't take long because he was being neglected at the home front. And therefore sparked off the whole committing adultery, getting caught, and getting impeached. And that's how they got rid of Bill. Now, for those people saying that's far-fetched, well, presidents down through time have committed adultery like crazy. Some of them committed adultery on a level that everybody knew about it. And yet none of them were ever impeached for it. He was the only one. Like, you ever watch Malcolm in the Middle? The guy, the sergeant, the fellow who was the commander, or wherever he was at the school, and how they had this one of his friends got sent there. His name was Circus, and how basically how he was treating him. He was giving him like he was letting him call him by his name and all this crazy stuff and all. And they couldn't figure out why he was giving Circus so much attention and all that, and the rest of them got the crap beat out of him every single day. And Francis said, "Why are you treating him like that? What's going on with that? Why are you treating him like that? We got the crap beat out of us every freaking day, and you're treating him like that." He says, "You know, it's how we put it in the way." He said, "Sometimes you can't treat all your enemies the same way. Everybody has to be treated differently. There's so many different ways to take a person out, but there's so many different ways." He's trying to say that how each person has a weak point, and you have to be to cater to that weak point and how to take that person down. And that's what he was doing with Circus. So by him giving Circus everything he wanted, his own members turned on him, and they were making his life miserable. So that means he didn't have to do any work at all. He basically expected for his own men to torment him. Everybody's killed. He's killing him with kindness. That's what he said. So I really don't have to touch him at all, period. You're going to do the job for me. So what he did was, when Circus got up late and didn't make his bed, he would punish them for Circus's act. But treat Circus, he wouldn't punish Circus. Usually, when you have somebody come, the commander would come in and your bed's messy, you would get the punishment, or you would get the punishment. But how he was doing it was Circus wasn't getting the punishment. Circus was getting treated nicely. They were getting the punishment for Circus's act. So they punished Circus for it. He was killing him with kindness. That's what he said. Each person has to be handled differently. And there you go. And you got to strategize on how to take care of each one. Now, this is going to be interesting with Trump, and I'll tell you why. Trump has serious charges on him, very serious charges on him. They're not going anywhere. It's leverage. That's what it's called. It's leverage, control. He has to play nice, because again, they can change the rules. They could change the rules very easily, that fast and that quick. You can lock him up, get somebody else. So again, they could change the rules. They have leverage on him. He's still going to court. None of that stuff is changing. He's still going to court. He thinks at the end of the day, because he becomes president, he's basically going to be, no, you literally committed treason on United States soil. You have to answer for that. But we can actually make it so that things take time to reach that point. Things can drag out forever. Or they can speed things up really fast. That's just what I feel. This is what my theory is. So you're going to do what we tell you to do, and you're going to play nice, and so and so and so. And we're not going to have any of that nonsense, and this is what you're going to do from the door. We'll see what happens. But like I said, they have to remind you, didn't have this control on him before. He didn't have all these court cases and stuff. He had stuff that's in the works, but not the way it is now. So he's going to have to play nice, or they're not going to play nice, because they have leverage on him. The last thing you want to do is walk into an area like that where you definitely don't have control and they do, and you don't want to give them that control, more control than they already have. And that's what he's looking at. He's going to become a puppet. So you think at the end of the day, the president at the end of the day would be the problem. No, it goes much deeper than that. It really goes much deeper than that. There are other people in office that have much more power than the president. He's just there to basically take the hit. So basically, whatever goes on, he's going to get it. The boys in the back room don't get it. It's like the accountant theory, all right? You get an accountant. An accountant rips off your company and gets away with all your money, and who gets blamed for it? You do. You get the blame at the end. They don't blame the accountant. Usually, majority of the accountant doesn't really get blamed. Unless he was doing accountant work for a big CEO or something like that, and there's a huge, massive paper trail leading back to him, but most likely it'll have it pointed back at you. That's usually what happens when you get a lot of people that are into the music business and stuff like that. And they're very careful when they start off with pinching their pennies. They can't take too much because they will notice it's gone. But once they get out there and they're spending money left and right and blowing this, that, and so and so, this is where the accountant comes in, because you know what? He's not even keeping track of his spending. I can start skimming from him. Now, I'm not saying all accountants are like that. No, not all of them. Got some really honest, good ones out there at the end of the day to do their job. But some of them do that. And they'll steal so much from you that you'll end up going bankrupt and end up owing money in taxes, and they don't get called in for that. They're saying, look, I tried to warn them at the end of the day, but they were just spending money at such a high rate that bottom line, we couldn't even get control of it. It was spinning out of control. And next thing you know, this is where we're at. They know how to redirect, cook the books, the whole entire 9 yards. Yep. So that's that. You know, all this craziness that goes on in this world, this is why I can't wait that when my time comes to leave this world and go home, there's just too much madness in this world, really is. I know it's Thanksgiving. You want to talk about happy stuff at the end of the day, but for me, I just hit the reality of the world. You know what I mean? You can powder coat it and walk through the world oblivious and basically blinded by it all, or you can basically accept it for what it is and just deal with it and try to make the best of it. You know, some people would rather just basically just walk through the entire world and just ignore it all. But keep in mind, you won't be able to ignore everything all the time. Some things will get in your business. Some things will be in your comfort zone. Better that you be wise and that you know than know nothing and not be wise about it. That's the way I see it. Then again, once you become a Christian at the end of the day, you see all that. You see it all. Your eyes are wide open to everything. You see the world completely different. Yeah, you see it differently now. Not the same world anymore. It's a world you just don't want to be a part of anymore. You want to get ready to go home. Now you'd think on a day like this, I'd be missing my mother and I'd be depressed, right? No, not at all. You have to understand death. How you understand death is half of my family they don't get it. They're suffering. On the other hand, I don't feel any pain. Not because I don't love my mother, it's because I have accepted the fact that she went home. She went to go see God. She's in a better place than I could ever be right now. I couldn't imagine the beauty that she's seeing right now. And that's what I'm happy about, you know? But the rest of them can't come to grips with that. They're still going back to her gravesite. You know, I didn't go to her funeral. Nope, didn't go to her funeral. I didn't even go to see where she was buried at. You know why? She ain't there. Nope, that's the vessel. That's what you have to understand. That's the vessel. That's the body. This whole body you're in right now, all it is just transporting your soul. That's all it is. And when your time comes and you get a chance to leave this world and you've been saved, you go to see Jesus, this body goes back to the dust. That's where you came from. Your body came from the primal dust, and in which it will return. So, you know, she's home. She's happy at the end of the day. Now, I'm not happy. I'm not sad. I'm happy she's happy. I'm happy she went home. And that's why I'm not sad like the rest of them. That's why I'm not depressed like the rest of them. They can't figure out why. Like, how come you're not depressed? How come you're not? Because I'm not. I know Mom went home. It's a wonderful feeling. It's a celebration at the end of the day. When a Christian goes home to see the Lord, it is a celebration. Do I miss her? Yeah, I miss her. She's my mother. But at the end of the day, she went home. She went to go see Jesus. She's in a very beautiful place. So, hopefully one day, my time will come, and I'll be going too. But right now, no rush, because again, I have the Lord's work to do while I'm here on this planet. And that's why I got to remind myself from time to time when I get into this whole arrogant nonsense. Yeah, I'm arrogant. I admit that. And I get into this power surge where I go, oh, our product is this and that and the other. I got to remind myself at the end of the day that you're not here for that. You're not here to have this and that. You're here to basically build your company, bring in that revenue, and push your technology into helping other people out. That's what your job is to do. Let them know that the Lord did this. Give glory to God, not to yourself. Got to remind myself. See, even I myself fall from time to time. And I had to remind myself why we do this. So we have the money to be able to open up programs and to help people out. But not only that, let them know that this came from God. Anytime I give money to people, I always carry money on me to walk out the door, because I never know I'm going to bump into somebody who didn't eat that day, didn't have no food that day. So I always keep a little money on me so that way I can give them something when I'm out there. And they always say, well, thank you, God bless. And I'm like, don't thank me, thank God. He's the one that told me to do it. That's why I did it. Yeah, I start carrying God Love You tracks on me, I do. It just makes you think, you know, when I was out there in the world, and I remember seeing that guy on the corner preaching about the Lord, preaching about the Lord, preaching about the Lord, preaching about the Lord, and I ignored it. He was calling out, and I ignored it every single time. So, it reminds me that my Lord didn't give up on me and saved my life. My mom didn't give up on me and saved my life. And now it's my turn to go out there and get people to listen up, even on my channel here, that to get saved, because I don't want to be in that other side. One thing God doesn't like is a lazy Christian. And when I first started off, I was a lazy Christian. I was kind of afraid to go out and talk about God. I don't know how people would receive me. So, Lord allowed me to get past that one. Now I can't stop talking about it. The people own this building, they're Christians. They're all Christians in here. Yep, they serve God. Yep. So that's why I liked it. Because number one, the building, again, well, heavily secured, but on top of that, it's Christian, man. It's a man of God. And that's why I explain to people that when you try to attack a Christian, it's not going to go well. Really not going to go well. You may think you're getting away with it, but you're not. Because the devil got plans for you. That's why you're not going to get away with it. You're not going to get away with it one bit, because the devil's got plans for you. That's why you're not going to get away with it. Plans he got for you, you can't get away with it. Oh, we have to get some more coffee. A little bit more. Finish the right pad job here. You know, I try to keep it on topic, but when I talk about the Lord, I talk about him because I love the Lord. I do. I love him. Because again, like I said, one for him, I would have lost my life. I lost everything. So I can't. I'm never going to change that. I can't. I'm never going to change it. I love talking door. It's the stuff, all the stuff I talk about that's off topic, like trains and automobiles and all that stuff. At the end of the day, like, you know, you're really just way off the bat on that one. I try to keep that one normal. But I'm always going to talk about Jesus. Oh, we got a nice little frost on this too. Definitely got a nice frost. We got the first application down. We still are going to have to do a build up because we haven't done the build up yet. So we're still going to need that. Definitely going to need that build up. So that's going to be the next one to do. Those are the heavy drops. paint job, more build up job. Yep. Whew, man. I know people just say, I don't want to hear about the devil on Thanksgiving. I know. But again, you got to remember, he hasn't forgot about you. Just because you don't want to hear about him, don't mean he forgot about you at the end of the day, because he hasn't. He's never going to forget about you. Not ever. Not in a million years. Not in a million years. Not ever. Is he ever going to give up on you? And the beautiful thing about the Lord is the fact that if you have been chosen, the Lord's not going to give up on you either. Like I said before, everybody thinks everybody's going to heaven. Like, no. Some people go and some people are not going to go. There's a certain amount that's going, a certain amount that's going to go. And the day that the Lord calls on you, it's a glorious day. Because that means you have been chosen. You have been chosen to receive. You have been chosen to live everlasting life. I was going to sit in the house talking about, we had the celebration party from mom. Like, wow, she actually made it. She made it. She is over there right now. She made it. Yep. She is home. She made it. She had to go through so much trials and tribulations. I'm not here to be comfortable on this earth. You got preachers out there that want to get rich. For what? You know how backwards that is? For a preacher out there trying to obtain money to try to become rich. You lost your soul trying to collect things that are not yours. That's what you have done. You have given your soul to the devil to collect things that are not yours. Everything, your fancy cars, your jewelry, whatever, your houses, they're not yours. You're not taking any of that with you. What does the Lord say about, it's important to understand how people who know the book, they know it, and yet they do this stuff. What did it say about the rich man when he talked to Jesus? About how he told the Lord he followed everything, all the rules of the book he followed, right? And Jesus told him to give up everything he had, pick up your cross and come follow me. And what did he do? He walked away sorrowful because he had great wealth and he didn't want to give it up. And Jesus said, it is easier for a camel to travel through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Because their worthy possessions become their God. And here you are, stealing money from the church to worship a God that, again, is going to lead you to damnation. People say, oh, God's people were meant to be rich and all this at the end of the day. No. Jesus wasn't rich when he came here, and he was God. If that was the case, and Jesus would have came down a king. He would have had a huge castle, and he would have had concubines, and he would have had huge amounts of cattle and gold and wealth. He would have had all that, right, when he came down. It'd have been the Bible, and how rich he was, and how much money, how much power he had, how big his armies were. There ain't nothing there. He's born in a manger. No fancy cars. He walked every place. Definitely going to get some more for his side there. I can't do these churches today. I can't. People sit there and say you gotta get yourself into a church. I can't do these churches today. I haven't found a good church yet. Can't do them. And the reason why, because I went to see this one church. They had the husband and wife on a banner hanging down the side of a church. Oh, that's such disrespect. It's not your house. It's God's house. You work there. You're a servant at the end of the day. Why in the world is your image and your wife's image hanging down this huge banner down the side of this church? As if it's your church. It's not your church. It belongs to God. And then you get people going to church and like, oh, the minister this and the minister that. And they talk so much about the minister. Like, I ain't come here to see him. I came here to hear the word of God. You're praising him like he's a God himself. My goodness. And this is the part I will never understand. And I've asked this question multiple times. Why are there seats on the stage higher and sitting up, like they're sitting up high, looking down at everybody else? Why are they there? You know, that what that starts at the end of the day, right? It starts arrogant, it starts jealousy, and it starts pride. That's what those seats do. Why are they there? You're the same level I'm at the end of the day. Just because you're sitting there doesn't mean that you're going to get special treatment in heaven. No, you're going to be treated like everybody else. God doesn't give any special treatment. So why are those chairs like that? And they had the one guy sitting up in the middle. He's just sitting there looking at the rest of them. Yeah, that's what that starts. The devil gets in there and starts that nonsense. One exalted over another. Starts to be pulling up. And one's envy because he's exalted higher than him. And the other one basically is full of pride because he's higher than the rest of them. Why are they like that? The preacher sits in the middle of it, and the rest of them all sit up high, where they look down. I didn't like that. I never have liked that in a church. You all should be at the same level. And there are some people that will walk around thinking they are basically holier than thou because at the end of the day, because they sit maybe in one of those seats. Now, I'm not saying everybody sits in one of those seats are like this. Some people are very humble. But still, it starts that. It begins that. It plants that seed. They should never be there. Everyone should be sitting at the same level. Preachers get to a point where they think at the end of the day, they're power. They have power. They can, because they're the preacher and the servant, and the church will never be the same without me, and this, that, and the other. And oh man, you guys are treading down an extremely dangerous road. You know, we Christians can lose their salvation. They can lose their way. Doesn't mean because you're a Christian you can do anything you want to do. No, that's not it. You are more prosecuted than a man that's a sinner, because a man that's a sinner doesn't know. He has to learn the law. You know the law. That's the equivalent of a police officer. A police officer who knows the law, went to school for it, trained in it. He knows the difference between right and wrong in the law. We do too. But keep in mind, he's more responsible for this because his job is to serve and protect. He is to know the law. That's why. So he's basically looked at differently. He's a police officer. He knows the rules. He knows the law at the end of the day. And this is the first thing, you know the Bible, you know about God and everything, and you're committing these crimes at the end of the day. But I never could understand why those seats were up so high like that, because I just look at them. I would stare right at them just to see exactly how they react and how they stand. And some of them actually sat there puffed up as if they were better than other people. I can understand when people go to church. They go to church like they're going to a fashion show. They'll wear all kinds of expensive clothes. That's why this one guy had this huge diamond cross in his ear. Oh, this is why I don't. I'd rather be here, serve the Lord, read the Bible. Oh, but you need more than that. You need to go to a church. Why? So I hear people bicker and argue with each other and talk down to each other. I've seen people talk nasty to somebody and then smile on their face and then talk nasty about them again. Now, am I saying everybody in church is that way? No. I've met some of the beautiful, most nicest people I've ever met. But you don't think because it's in a church that everybody in there is going to be basically serving the Lord correctly, because they're not. Don't want to be around that. I remember hearing something on Family Radio. They had some good stuff on there before Harold Canton destroyed it. How these militants came into a church pointing guns at everybody. And people ran out of the church. It wasn't any people in the church. It was people that were actually running the church. They ran out. So many people ran out. And the other ones stayed behind. And the militant said, why did you stay behind? And we pointed these guns at you. He said, because my faith is with God. At the end of the day, you can't harm me. And then if it was my time to go, I'm going home. They had 100% faith. So, what did the militants do? They dropped their guns and they got and sat down and started praying. So they're looking at them like, why did you come here raising guns if you would come here to serve? He said, because we wanted to root out the fakes. That's what they wanted to get rid of. If your faith is in God, you don't have fear of death at all, period. Because you know what your life is holding for you in the next life. If I get hit by a car and it's my time to go, it's my time to go. I'm not bothered by that. I'm going home. I'm going to see Jesus. So I'm okay with that. If they can bring me back or they can fight, whatever, if it's meant to be by God's will. If it's not, I go home. That's it. You know, so it's not a bad thing. It's a happy thing. But if you're not ready and you're scared to death, then you're not ready to go home. In all, period. What are you doing at the end of the day that you have not done enough? Most people will question, if they're Christians, then they will question, have I done enough? Have I really served God the way I'm supposed to serve Him? Yeah, and you start having those questions at the end of the day. You need to fix that one. You need to fix that one. But now, am I supposed to be? People say, well, you know, bottom line is, if that's the case, then it means you consider yourself to be perfect. No, far from it. Not even perfect in any way whatsoever. That's virtually impossible. There's no such thing. If the Christian ever tells you he's perfect or whatever, he's a liar. That's virtually impossible. Your body's a sin. You're in a cursed body. How can you be perfect? You're only perfect when you basically, this body goes back to the earth and you get your celestial body. Then you're perfect. Then you become perfect because you have no sin. You have no cursed body. But in this body, you're cursed. The celestial body doesn't age. It has no disease. It has no hatred. Nothing. It's perfect. Where your body here, basically disease, you have hatred, and you know, you do commit sins and all that stuff. So, yeah, your body's cursed. And when people sit there and say, well, what do you mean it's cursed? Well, okay, got a little experiment for you. Try to go an entire day without committing any sin. I'm not talking about just cursing and stuff like that. I'm talking about committing any sin. No thoughts, nothing of any kind whatsoever. You look at a woman, that's considered to be a sin. You're not considered a sin if you turn around and look at a woman, you're lust in your heart. Anything, you can't even think anything sinful. Nothing, not a thing. Try to do it, especially on Thanksgiving, where we know a lot of people are going to be basically losing their minds and getting upset because family members drive them nuts. And see how that works out for you. Now, Christians realize that when they become saved, they realize this. Their bodies are cursed because the whole entire time you didn't realize it. And then the minute you become saved and you become a Christian, you try your hardest to serve God the best way you possibly can. You want to be more like Jesus. And then you realize, oh my goodness, this body is absolutely horrible. Like, I'm thinking of bad stuff and I'm doing bad stuff. And you go back and ask the Lord for forgiveness and you feel horrible, absolutely horrible. And then you go and you mess up again. You go, oh Lord, I'm sorry, I messed up, I did it again. And you feel horrible about it. And each time it feels like someone just walks over to you and takes a knife and just stabs it into your chest, turns it and pulls it right back out. Because you can't pay back. You can't pay them back. Not in this, you can't. So imagine someone gave up their life for you. Don't even know you and gave up their life for you. And you want to try so much to pay them back, but you virtually can't do this. But you keep disappointing them. You keep disappointing them over and over again. You don't want to disappoint this person. This person gave his life to you. You want to be able to make this person happy. You want to be able to go in and you want to be able to make this person proud of you. And God is proud of us, but we want to serve Him 100%. That's what we want to do. We can't do that in this. So then you will realize your body is cursed. That's when you realize it. You will feel that pain over and over again of disappointment, of not being able to satisfy Him, to not be able to serve Him the right way.
And you will feel it again and again and again and again and again. The disappointment of basically failing and not being able to serve him the way you want to serve him. And God acknowledges that. He acknowledges that the fact that you're trying. And you're blessed for that. Because you are trying to serve him the best way you can. He can see that. And that's why accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and trying to live your life the best way you possibly can, because he knows you're going to mess up. But you don't want to mess up. It's different when you you get saved and you commit crimes and you do things knowing that God's going to forgive me anyway. I didn't do it. I can do as much as I want. No, don't do that because you won't be forgiven. But the fact of knowing that you're trying your hardest to become more like Jesus, but you know you're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes, but you keep coming back and you keep asking forgiveness. God is going to forgive you as long as you're sincere in your heart that you are sorry. He will forgive you. But he knows from the door that you are a good servant because you are trying your hardest and you keep trying to do your best. And even though you make the mistake, he's going to forgive you for it. That's why Jesus died on the cross, to forgive you for your sins. But he knows that you are trying. And when you're trying to do your best at the end of the day, and you're fighting all these demons that are trying to take you down in the process, you are going to be the enter the kingdom of heaven. Number one, you have accepted Lord. You believe that Lord Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. You have accepted him. So all your sins are washed away. All your previous sins are gone. They don't even exist anymore. You're not even the same person anymore. You change for the better. But you have to be careful. Just because you're covered in the blood, you are protected. But Satan will come for you. Even more, he will come for you. Because now he lost you. Used to be his, not anymore. Now he's going to come for you. But you have the Lord there to protect you. And he's going to try to tempt you, and then you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to fall for him, and you're going to make those mistakes. But remember, the Lord is going to forgive you. But as long as you're sincere in your heart that you are sorry for what you've done, not because you know the Lord is going to forgive you. So your body's cursed. And that's what I realized when I tried my hardest to serve God. And I kept making mistakes. So I'm a new Christian. I'm making tons of mistakes. I'm like, oh man, how in the world am I going to do this? I'm not even going to make it to heaven. I want to burn in the lake of fire forever because I can't get this right. I can't see. I'm making all these mistakes. And I was really, really upset about it. I was really depressed over it. And my mom came and explained the whole thing to me. She said, you can't. It's impossible. Your body's cursed. But the fact that you're trying and you're working at it and you're pushing to be a better Christian every step you take, it pleases God. That's what pleases him, because you're making the effort to try. But then in the process, you're realizing how messed up your body is. And not only how cursed you are, how cursed the world is too. The world's cursed also. Because it wasn't cursed at first, because remember, Adam and Eve. They had immortality. There's no death. There's nothing. Didn't exist. No, nothing of that exists. Animals didn't kill each other. There was no murder. No crime. Nothing. Perfect. Utopia. And we spoke to God. Talked to God. Because we saw God's face. And the devil couldn't have any of that. The devil had to figure a way how to change this in a way where he would get an advantage point. Now, like I said, God could have made it so that we serve him and we serve him only at the end of the day. Imagine how amazing he is. He could have made it so that we serve him only and we can't commit any sin or anything at all, period. So we can have internal immortality and everything. But God gave man a choice. He gave you an option. Can you imagine having that much power at the end of the day that he can create you and design all the beautiful things of this earth and the universe beyond? And he gave you an option. He gave you free will. He didn't have to give you that. He didn't have to give you free will. Not at all, period. He could have made it so that he controls us. And we serve him only. That's it. But he gave man free will. So, when the time comes, and you see his face, you can't say you didn't know. Because he gave you free will. He gave you the ability to choose yes or no. So it's nobody's fault but yours when that time comes. So people, I am still going to be working on my fog here.
Got some of our crazy ice on this side, right there. Which you're going to just move over because I got to literally put a door here. Let me see. How much of that can be smoothing a door? It's going to have to be going right here, yeah. I'm going to smooth this down a little bit. There we go. Put a pad job in there. I definitely have some buildup around my door. It'd be kind of weird not to have a build up there. Yeah, I tried to talk a bit more about God because, again, hopefully, you never know. Might reach somebody. Somebody might be out there, and Thanksgiving is a time where people are depressed sometimes because they don't have family around them, or they could have lost people at the end of the day. And it's hard for some people. You got to deal with a family member you can't stand and you haven't seen for years, and praying before you get in that door, like, Lord, please give me strength to get through this. This is where you need to pray. The devil is going to be there to make sure things go wrong on so many levels. He is. He's going to be there. He pops up on holidays. Yes, he do. But just remember that God is with you and God has your back. Pray and put it in his hands. Don't get angry. Don't get mad about people that are going to upset you at the end of the day. Don't give the devil that opportunity at all, period. Enjoy your Thanksgiving and put it in God's hands. Exactly what you do. Because then you strip away all power from the devil and he has nothing. Nothing at all. All right, people, we got to go. Thank you for your time. I'll do the paint job on tomorrow because we still got the paint job to do. We're not even done yet, and the glow and all that stuff waiting over there. Hope you enjoy. Thank you for your time, and God bless.